Whiskey Tube, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. It's good to be back. I've been off for 2 weeks now. Was off last week because I did want to spend some family time with the kids because I didn't really get a chance to see them too much, but and then the week before that, like I said, I was unfortunately stuck at work, so gave me a little bit of time to set up this blind barrel proof challenge again. This time with rye whiskey. So the bourbon one was a lot of fun. I know these kind of they take a little bit of time to get through, but figured I'd start now, beginning of September, and I think this thing should maybe end mid-October somewhere. But do want to say hi to a couple people here in the chat. See here, we got Top Dog. Top Dog in the house. Cheers. Has everyone hit the like button on your way in? Grab your favorite pour. Sit back, enjoy the best ride battle you ever see. Cheers, John. Mash and Metals here. Cheers, man. Good to see you, buddy. Fifth quarter tailgate. What's up, bud? The Turks are in the house. Got to spend some quality time with the Turk family. So that was some good times this past week. David Bass in the house. Dusty Dan, Rye, Showdown. Let's go. Doug H is in the house. Cheers, buddy. Doug, again, I didn't forget you won. I didn't get anybody's winnings out from the other week, but I will make sure they go out. I have a couple of days off this week, so I'll make sure all that stuff goes out. The ones who won the Glencairns and the samples, all that stuff will go out this week. So cheers, Doug H. Roy Ardos Cocktails, good evening. Sugar Kitty in the house says Mash and Metal Rye Brackets, novel concept. Cheech Artolino, cheers. JG, whiskey, cheers. Cheers, broski. Peter B, cheers, man. Good to see you, buddy. T. Jared in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you, bud. Dave Vogel saying, what's up, man? Cheers, buddy. Brian's in the house. Brian, got your sample in your Glencairn, buddy. It's going out. No worries. I didn't forget about you. Jay Sells, Boston, what's up, buddy? It was good to see you at the Mash and Journey meetup. If anybody's looking for a realtor up in the Boston area, reach out to them. Sure, Katie says, lick the like and like the lick. Sure seems to taste like a rye somehow. Oh, goodness. Griff is in the house. Cheers, Griff. That's the Griff. I think that's John Griffin, if I'm not mistaken. If it is, welcome, man. Thanks for joining, and thanks for hopping on this live. Yes, thank you. Yeah, the Heritage Rye was a lot of fun. That's a great bottle. The only issue I had with that with the Jack was it lost a little bit of that flavor there, like on the back of the palate right before it hit the finish. But other than that, those are bottles that you should see out in stores fully stocked. So Slap Shots Roadhouse, what's up, man? It was great to see you as well at the Mash and Journey meetup. Very nice to meet you in person. Ron Miles in the house. What's going on, Ron? Good to see you, man. Says, boy, do we have a rye for this bracket coming next year. Oh, man, that's awesome. I can't wait. Like I said, I had so there's 30 entered into here. I had 33 extra rye bottles that didn't make the cut. So it was all random. I put everything in there. I randomized it, and I wrote it down just as it was randomized through the entire bracket. So that's how this one laid out. So worth $100 Heritage Rye. I would think so. I would pay $100 for it for sure. Anything above that, like 120 mark, I may shy away from. Depending, it's all in what you can afford to spend. But I definitely think it's worth $100. If I saw it on the shelf for $100, I would definitely buy it. So that's just me. Ben Drammond in the house. What's going on, man? It was good to meet you at the Sagamore meetup. It was nice, man. Got to meet a lot of people. Got a lot, to put the faces to the names within the chat. So definitely a lot of fun there at the Sagamore meetup. And then a couple days right after that, went down to Went down to Kentucky / Indiana. Ron, I got you. One of the bottles from you guys, like I said, it didn't make the randomizer. So, but yes, I can't wait to get that into next year's blind barrel proof showdown, man, for sure. Tony, what's up, Ant? Good to see you, buddy. Can't stick around, brother. Just stopping by to say hi. Cheers, man. Good to see you, bud. Chris Jenkins in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. But yeah, so like I said, I mean, the Mashing Journey meetup, I think it was a wonderful turnout. It really was. They put a lot of hard work into that. I know they were very, a little nervous about what the outcome was going to be. Nobody really kind of expected what to happen tonight. I think we all knew what would play out during the day, but in the evening time, very, kind of unsure about what would happen. And it was quite the time, to say the least. I can tell you, I myself was feeling no pain that first night for sure, but it was crazy. I mean, there was people outside, and then people downstairs in the lobby, and then there was people on like the second floor and then the fourth floor sharing rooms and sharing whiskey, which is really what it was all about. And it was an amazing turnout. Next day, going out to Sagamore Farm, having a live band play there, and a food truck which had amazing food. It was a bit warm. It was definitely a bit warm, but man, it was a really good time. So they had some little ride that you can go through and travel through the parts of the Sagamore farm up by the spring and all that, out to the Rick House, and I think like up around the house, maybe something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, all in all, really good time at Sagamore Farm. And then, like I said, I mean, a couple days after that, flew in to Kentucky with my buddy Christopher David. Linked up with Sherry Carter there for a little bit. We were kind of driving around looking for some stuff to do until everybody else got in. So I got to go hang out with Sherry Carter and Jay up where everybody's lockers are for the program, and got to drink some of the Bourbon Batch 14, which I absolutely love. It was the OC-3, and then they also had the Rye Batch 12, which, if anybody's seen it out, I would recommend pulling the trigger on that one. That is a delicious rye whiskey. That is something. It's definitely more of a summer rye whiskey, but something that is just insanely flavorful. It is MGP distilled, but really, really good Rye Batch 12 from Old Carter. But yeah, got to spend some time with them, and then we headed over to Merrill's over there and had a couple drinks. We were actually able to taste the new makers, the cellar aged, and I remember Chris and I both taking a sip of it and looking at each other and be like, "This is good. This is really, really good." I was shocked at how good it was. And then yeah, I mean, later on that time, we met up with Adam Shelton. We met up with Katie and Ethan Turk, and then met up with Bourbon and Bonnie, and that was got together and had a really nice night that evening. Got up, headed over to Starlight, and didn't really know what to expect. I'd never been to Starlight before, but it was a really good time. The tasting process is very quick though, so I mean, as they're thieving a barrel and giving it to you, he's already off getting another barrel. So it's take a couple sips. Told you to throw it out, throw it on the ground, and keep going. But I did have a hard time just letting it go on the ground. I did a couple times, but it was to the point where like they were pouring samples faster than we could actually drink. So, and then we had a group behind us, which happened to be Jason from the Mash and Drum, Scott, Prescription Bourbon. They all got together. Scott's wife, a few other folks. So they were the pick team that was right behind us. They got there a little early. Was able to meet up with them for a little bit. And then, so we tasted through a couple things. There was a nice cognac finish. There was a Tokai finish that had just came in. Started out with a port finish. There was an apricot brandy barrel that we tasted. I'm trying to remember all the ones that we tasted. There was an Armagnac barrel that we tasted. I mean, there was a bunch. There was a bunch of whiskey that we tasted, and we landed on an Armagnac finish that was I thought it was absolutely delicious. I think the pick team uh, thought it was delicious as well. So I think we were all in agreement and picked that. Headed up to lunch, had some crazy chicken sandwiches, and by the time we went back down to Starlight, Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night were down there. So it was our group and then Jason's group and then Chad and Sarah. Sunday evening, Scotch was there. Yes, I mean there was a lot of people. There's a lot of people down there, just kind of all chatting around and stuff like that. And it was a really good time. I split a barrel with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, so they got to taste an apricot brandy barrel that we didn't get to taste. And that one was damn good. And so we're gonna split that barrel with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. They picked some awesome barrels themselves, and then it's Bourbon. I picked some really cool barrels too as well. But all in all, an amazing time. I would love to go down there and do a pick with them again. They kind of work off like a tier system down there. So I didn't, with it being my first pick, I didn't have access to everything like the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club or It's Bourbon Night would have access to. But next time I go there and do a pick, which is hopefully maybe next year, we'll see. I'll have access to some barrels like that. So let me get caught up on the chat, guys. I'm sorry. I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown of what was going on. Story time's here. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Dave Olgson says he cracked open an Old Carter American Whiskey Batch 11 last night. Oh my God. Those things are so good. It's just like, it's yellow cake. It gives me that yellow cake, some cinnamon kind of sprinkled on top with that heat. Keith Thompson's in the house. Cheers, man. It was great to see you at Sagamore. Keith, don't forget, I got a sample of the Old Granddad coming to you with your Glencairn. So it's on its way. I'll be shipping all that stuff out sometime this week. I got a couple days off, so I'll get that stuff out to you. Would have been amazing if you could have made that pick though, Keith. But we'll get you in on the next one. I'll be talking with Jay here soon and seeing what we can kind of get started. Chris Jenkins, thank you for joining, man, as a member. Appreciate that, man. Much appreciated. Again, guys, if anyone does want to join the Patreon, I will be running the bottles through there first to give everybody access to the bottles there before they go out to the public, because they are going to be released through Jay's group as well. So not sure how quick they're going to get gobbled up, but again, if you guys want to become Patreon member, there's all different levels there to choose from, and you will have access to those barrels before they go public. But Keith, good to see you, man. Adam Shelton in the house. I miss you too already, man. It was great seeing you in person, and we will definitely see each other again soon, my friend. Let's see, Mash and Journey Club. Oh no, not those wackos. Yeah. Oh goodness. JH in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. So tonight, I know Todd and Andy wanted to hop on because I actually have there's still Austin. There's still Austin pick. It's right here. Pour some Austin on me. Guys, I don't know how many of these are left that are available. I don't actually have the link. I don't know if they're going to hop on or when they do hop on. But if you guys aren't Patreon members of 21090, you're definitely missing out. They put out some amazing content. As most of you know that I've seen in here, most of you guys are up to date with them. So, but yeah, I mean, this I actually got to go meet up with Andy before I came here and have a pour of this, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'll give you the tasting notes as I taste through it, but I was definitely happy with this. I'm still waiting for mine to get here. So they tried to be delivered, but there was nobody home, and so they had to come back, and I think they'll be back tomorrow. The rest of them will be delivered. So, Demetra Mano, cheers. Good to see you in the chat. I think I know who you are, if I'm not mistaken. Eric Damaris, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. I wish you could have made that pick too, but good get you in on the next one, big guy. Yeah, Dave Volgesang says 21090 still awesome, available on shared pour starting today, guys. If you haven't got one of these bottles yet, again, this is one. I think this is YouTube's very first barrel picks for Still Austin. So head over to Shareport, pick up one of these guys before they are gone, because once they're gone, they are gone. Pour some Austin on me. Has some amazing, amazing tasting notes when I tried it with Andy. I am going to try it now in this glass before we get into this blind tasting. There's Andy right there. Says, we'll hop on soon, getting the kids down. That's awesome. Yeah, guys. So again, if they are available on Shared Pour, guys, head over there before the rest of the public gets to them. Because again, once they're gone, they are gone. So I will. I'm going to send out a couple samples to people. So a couple giveaways tonight. I do have a surprise giveaway. So I managed to grab a 1962 Old Carter, or I'm sorry, an Old Taylor 6-year, and it's a pint. And what I want to do is I want to sample out at least half of it tonight. So the giveaway for tonight again is going to be I do want to give away some samples of the Still Austin for people to go and try, and then I do want to sample out 5 to 6 samples of that Old Taylor from 1962. Again, it is a pint, still intact, 6 years old. So that was quite a special pickup, and I'm glad to share it with you again, guys. So if anybody wants to, again, super chats can be collected, and we'll get that. I said the Still Austin and then the Old Taylor sampled out tonight, as well as the rest of these giveaways that I haven't has shipped out yet. So let me see here. Benjamin Eric, Adam Shilton says, holy shit. Yes. I do want to share that Old Taylor though. So yeah, I want to write this down before I get too deep into the whiskey and forget. And I don't have a pen, so I'm going to have to text it to myself. I thought I brought my pen over here, and I did not. Okay, so I will text it to myself. No worries. Joe Graves in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, buddy. Let me text this to myself really quick. Let's see. It looks like from what I just heard, they have 10 left. They have 10 left, guys, on Shared Pour. If you want to go grab one, I highly recommend it. It is a fantastic flavor bomb of a whiskey. Definitely, if you had Still Austin before, it is definitely an off-profile pick, which I absolutely love. Again, I wanted to kind of compare it to Nancy's pick that I have down here, but I didn't bring another glass. So I have the blinds here, but loved what I tasted when I got to taste it with Andy, guys. Again, 10 left. Let's get those things moved for 21090 tonight if you guys haven't bought one. I do want to text myself here really quick. So, and on top of the Old Taylor, I do want to give away. So when I went to the Mash and Journey meetup, I did crack. Actually, Katie Turk cracked open the old granddad from, I think it was 1960 something. I can't remember. 1962 maybe, something like that. I think it's a 1962 as well. Cracked that old granddad open, and I was able to share that with the whiskey community. So I do want to give away 2 samples of that tonight, as well as 4 to 5 samples of the Old Taylor. And then we'll do 2 samples of the Still Austin. Pour some Austin on me. So that'll be the sample pack giveaway for tonight. Again, all separate. That way everybody gets to try to taste some. So that's the giveaway for tonight if you guys are interested. Sorry, guys, trying to catch up on here. Joe Graves. Thank you, Joe, for posting that. Guys, Joe just posted the link to Shared Pour to go ahead and to grab one. So Roy R does cocktails. Just picked one up. That's awesome. Thank you guys. Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. I donated that sample. I wanted to Top Dog. Okay, gotcha. I see that. Let's see here. Doug H. Okay, so you want to sample the Old Quaker, and you're giving that to Top Dog. Got it. Okay. I did write that down on here on the paper. Gotcha. Jeffrey Wack is in the house. Got to meet Jeffrey Wack as well. And yes, he is as handsome on screen or in person as he is on screen. Yes, the smile's real. The hair is real. He's a stud. He's a stud, guys. Jeffrey Wack, great meeting you, buddy, in person. Hope we get to do it again soon. That OGD is stupid. Yeah, the old Granddad was absolutely fantastic, for sure. Really, really good stuff. Yes, Keith, that was I brought two old Granddads with me. I brought the one from 60, I think it was 62, 67, I think it was 62. And then I had the 114, the old Granddad 114 from 1988. That's the two OGDs that I brought with me there. Brian Toner says he just ordered one of the Still Austins. Thank you, Brian. Again, guys, once these things are gone, they're gone. And this is the very first Still Austin YouTube collab pick that 21090 did. So they got the first one out, guys. Eric Christopher's in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Brian Toner again. Great to see you as well. And thank you for supporting 21090 and grab one of those bottles, man. Paul P. Cheers, everyone. Happy Labor Day. Quick stop, say hi. Early bed tonight. Wiped out from driving all day. We'll catch a replay at the gym. Cheers, Paul. Thank you so much. Paul was again kind enough, guys, to create the big board, the red, white, and blue board that had the Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews and then the Marine Corps emblem on there, which was absolutely beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. Got to get some time to get that thing posted on Instagram, and then once that bar gets set up over here, it's going right in there, right on the wall. So cheers, Paul P. Good to see you, man. Keith Thompson, pretty sure it was 88. Yeah, so you must have tried the 114 proof, Keith. Top Dog. Cheers, everyone. Cheers, man. Good to see you, John. All right. So I think Todd and Andy are going to hop on here very soon, guys. We're going to go through this. We're going to go through this pick here, some of the notes on this pick. But tonight, we begin the rye blind barrel proof challenge. So again, I had it was a total of I think 63 barrel proof rye whiskeys. 30 of them made the cut. I just put them into a randomized a couple times, and that list is how I entered them into the brackets. So tonight we have the Sagamore cast strength rye. This one comes in at 112 proof. These are actually the older proof points because now they have the proof points that are up in the 123 range. So these are the older ones, the 123 proof. I actually prefer more. I think there's more flavor on the 123 proof, but these 112s are still absolutely fantastic. Eric Christopher says the 21090 pick is fire. Yes, absolutely. Nancy Fairley gave 21090 the tip of where the good barrels were to find. Yes, Dave. Yeah, I talked to I talked to Andy about that just a little bit ago. That's awesome. Some great insider news right there. Next is the Hard Truth. This is the caramel malt. So that's in the blind for tonight. This one is batch. What is this one? Rickhouse 1, dumped on 9/28/22, 117.4 proof, batch number 1. We also have, so this is one that I picked up at a local place called Fish Paws. This is the Rye 3 whiskey. This one is rum finished. It's at Fish Paws. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Fish Paws. Zoom. No. All right. This one comes in at 117.4. Then we have the Bone Snapper Rye. So this one got picked as well. This is a 4-year, 110 proof. I think this is, I don't know if this is MGP distilled. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it's MGP distilled. I think this might be, I'm not sure if Eric Damaris is still on. But one of these whiskeys has excuse me, it was like a finish to it or something like that. I don't know if that one's the one that's finished. I can't remember. But and then the Found North Stuff and Whiskey Pick, the Operation Canadian Whiskey. This one is cask strength rye, single barrel, barrel number 11. So that is what is in this blind tonight. I do have all the whiskey poured in these gold Glens that we're going to mix up and get down to business. So let me catch up on the chat here really quick, guys. Drinking Rebecca Creek Spanish Oak currently, but I'll switch up to rye here soon, man. That Rebecca Creek Spanish Oak is really, really good. I will tell you, I think I did bring a bottle to the Mash and Journey meetup of that. So I think that was one that Keith, I think you gave that bottle to me, if I'm not mistaken. Cracked that. That stuff is just, it's ridiculously good. So good. Keith Thompson says, Jeffrey Wack, good to meet you. I understand if the details are sketchy. Yeah, I mean, there's probably people that I met, and I don't. I may not have remembered if I did. You know, if I do, I apologize. I was feeling no pain the first night there. So, Adam Shelton says the Hard Truth caramel malt is so freaking good. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we'll see how it holds up in this blind here. Eric Damaris, the Decades Down, has some sherry blend in that. That's which one it was. I remember you told me that. So. Mike Hickman, what's going on, Mike? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. And Chad, don't forget, I got something coming your way as well. Just been a little busy these last 2 weeks here, so got something coming out to you. Sheldon said, Rebecca Creek is Fat Kid whiskey. Yes, yes, it is. That stuff is good. Sketchy details. That's whack. Dan, I was there the first night. You don't remember meeting me? No, John, I don't. I would remember if I met you. I would have remembered. But yeah, so that's what's in the blind tonight, guys. And they're, for the most part, I think they're all right around that. Let's see, what's the proof on this? 115 for the Found North, 112 for Sagamore, 117 for Hard Truth. 117 for the rye 3. So the Bone Snapper rye is actually the lowest proof of all of them. So that comes in at 110. Highest is the 117. So, but yeah, that's gonna be fun to get into. Very curious to see what's gonna come out on top. There was actually a lot of Sagamore in the entire bracket. I think there's 5 bottles of Sagamore, including my own pick, the Sagamigos pick, the port finish, the cognac finish, and I think this standard. No, God, there's this one, and then there's the 123 proof. So maybe it was, I don't know, it's maybe 5, 6 of the Sagamores that got selected. But I do have a more Sagamore than that. But those ones are the ones that were selected randomly. So got to put my own pick in there and see where it ends up. See what's going to beat it in the blind. Mike Hickman sent you an email regarding 87 Jack Daniels Riverboat decanter bottle. Okay. I got you. Saucy Shane's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, my friend. You know, after this is done, or maybe in between, I do want to take some time and get some more some blinds out to people. And Saucy, you are on the top of the list, my friend. I do want to get you in here on a blind with somebody. So we'll get that scheduled here soon. That's pretty wild. There's so much Sagamore. You must be able to get it pretty easily. Yeah, I can get it pretty easy. You know, less than a 10-minute drive over there. So, all right. So regardless, I know, Todd and Andy are going to hop on here, guys. But again, do support 21090. Again, very first pick was still Austin here. And from what I heard, they had 8 left on shared pour, and I saw a couple people grab some. So hopefully we can get those things sold out for Todd and Andy tonight, and we can all celebrate. Again, I think the Armagnac rye from Starlight, I believe that is going to be bottled in October. So that'll be done in October. I'm not sure how they're going to be releasing everything because there's a lot of people doing picks. I want to say it was 7 picks total altogether between Chad and Sarah, Master Journey Whiskey Club, and then the one that I did. So I don't know how Sharepour is going to release them. Hopefully they kind of stagger a little bit. Otherwise, it's going to be a lot of Starlight released at one time. But again, I did split a barrel with Jason of the apricot brandy finish, and then we have the Armagnac finish, which, I mean, if anybody in here that was on the pick team wants to talk about the Armagnac finish, I definitely think it was one of the standouts of what we were able to try. So, but let's get into this, guys. I do want to get into this. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. Joe just posted the link, guys, to Sharepour to the 21090 pick if you guys want to grab one before they're gone. All right. Let's get into this. And I remember some of these tasting notes when I tasted it, so I want to see if I get them here on a fresh crack. So, yeah, Joe, thank you, man. And again, that'd have been cool if you could have made it too, guys. And with them, I could only bring up to 7 people for the pick to Starlight. Sometimes in some places it may be a little bit more, some places a little less. I think it really just depends. I mean, when I was talking to Jay, it just depends on where you go. So, like I said, I will be reaching out to him. In October, is really the time when I want to try to figure out what I want to pick next, because it does take a little while to get that set up and schedule a date and time to head out to wherever it may be to do these picks. So I will try to assemble another pick team. And again, guys, if you are, I do really try to encourage people to join Patreon, because that's the people that I want to pick to go on these teams. Again, it's my supporters. I do want to try to incorporate. I would love to get everybody eventually on a pick for those who join the Patreon. But again, guys, it's way to go. It's going to be, again, my all those bottles are going to flow through Patreon first before they go out into the public. Like I said, with Jay putting that out to his people, those Starlights could go fairly quick. So the Armagnac was insanely good. It really was. I mean, you talk about something that was just like deep, dark, and rich. The good thing though is, like, it wasn't desserty. It wasn't too desserty. It still had a lot of that rye kind of character to it and that rye spice. But the Armagnac, the way that it laid on the palate, it left a nice oil and like viscosity around the mouth. Yeah, it was damn good. Damn good. And what's funny is I think it was one of the last couple samples that we were able to try before we went to lunch. So we already had a lot of whiskey on the palate prior to even trying that, and it was still one of the standout whiskeys. So I want to get the Starlight we picked and stack it up against some cigars. Yes, I agree. That would be a great cigar style, a great whiskey that could pair with a cigar. If you ever want to collab on a pick, we are always open and excited. Mr. Whack, I would be honored to have your gorgeous smile on a bottle. And by the way, I was able to try Jeff's pick, one of his what was that? Gosh, I know I tried it. I mean, trying to remember what it is a little blurry, but I was able to try it. And it was absolutely fantastic. So yes, Jeff, we should definitely collab on something for sure. That would be a lot of fun. The Whack Attack, yeah, that's where it was a Whack Attack. Cheers to you, Dan. Cheers, man. Good to see you, buddy. Mash your metal in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Renee Pizza's here as well. That's awesome. Cheers, Renee. Good to see you. David Bass, Eric, cheers, bud. That bull run was fantastic. Which bull run? Is that the 14-year, Eric? The 14-year bull run? All right, I'm going to get into this 210. Now, they should be hopping on here any minute now, guys, but I'm going to go and get into some notes on this one. See, on the nose on this fresh crack, I get what I was getting on the palate. I get like some blood orange on this one, but it's like a caramelized, like a blood orange dipped in caramel. A little bit further into the glass. There's a lot of sweetness going on too, and then like I don't know. I picked up a very like small, almost like barbecue-y kind of smoky note, a little bit further away, which I didn't get when I smelled it earlier. Very subtle though. It's like a almost like a pecan or something there too. Like a sugary pecan, caramel dipped blood orange. It has a hint of smoke to it. Maybe that's what I'm getting on the nose. Master Metal says, cheers, all you beautiful whiskey people. Darrell Stewart in the house. What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope everything's going all right, my friend. Joe Graves, you don't get buttery nuts on that damn buttery nuts. I mean, I just picked up a little bit of like a pecan, maybe like a sugar, like one of those sugared pecans that you get. There's like this weird kind of like this very very small hint of like a barbecue-y smoke there further away, but then I get some of that pecan, a sugar pecan, and then further in it's like that caramel kind of dipped like blood orange. Oh man, it's such a good nose. I wish I had another glass over here besides these. I'd like to try to compare it to the Nancy's pick, but I don't have another glass over here. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the palate. Hopefully, Todd and Andy should be hopping on here any minute now. So I send them the link. We can talk through this. Cheers, everybody. Good to see you all. Cheers to the people I got to meet in person, and cheers to the people I hope to meet in person here soon, guys. Cheers. Man, this thing does not drink like it's 117 proof either. That's crazy. No, I think you feel more of it on. You feel more of the proof on like the middle of the palate, and then the finish. So it skips the front, the proof skips the back, but you feel a little bit of that burn going down into the finish. And it's got a nice viscosity to it too. Like you would never know that this is. You could blind this and not know that this is a Texas whiskey. It's very off profile from the stuff that I've tried from Still Austin. And this, if you were to do a side by side comparison, you would not think that this is from Texas. It's crazy. And it's like, I don't want to use the word smooth, but it's kind of like, it is buttery on the palate. Man, that's so good. There it was. So when I tried this with Andy, I get that blood orange on the front of the palate, and it's like it reminds me it's very sugary and sweet up front, so it reminds me of like those little candy orange wedges with the sugar on them, but with it being like a blood orange. And then like middle of the palate, you start to pick up like it's still kind of sugary and sweet, but then that's when you start to pick up a little bit of like some it becomes very spicy across the center of the palate, not overly spiced. And then it gets like this, and Andy said it perfectly. It almost turns into this like this cream soda kind of vibe to it. A little bit of those like cola notes, some nice kind of vanilla notes there that kind of sit across the middle of the palate. And then the spiciness again is like towards the back of the palate, and then flowing through and into the finish. But that's just that. It's delicious. It's so good. Very off profile. Doesn't drink 117 proof at all. You could get yourself in a lot of trouble with a bottle like this. 116 proof. I'm sorry. But I mean, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble with this here. Like this is crazy. And it's funny because you don't get any of that. You don't get any of that sweetness like from that corn, that Texas corn. You don't get any of that on the palate. Like the flavors on here are strong enough and concentrated enough to where it kind of masks that, especially with like the age that some of these are. You would typically get some of that young corn on these younger whiskeys, but I'm not getting any of that on the palate. This is just all flavor from front to back into the finish. Keith Thompson says, Eric, you doing Blendageddon? I just can't quite work out a good one. To be honest, man, I'm not gonna do one because it seems like every time I'm in the first round, I get booted. So I'm just gonna be a judge this year. That's what I told Jason. I said I'm just gonna be a judge this year, so you don't have to worry about getting a sample from me. I might do the Franken blend, but I'll just do the regular. I'll just be a judge. That's it. That's it for me. So. I haven't decided yet. I have a blend for the Franken blend I really like. I need to decide if I'm going to blend a bigger batch and submit it. Yeah, I mean, it is saucy. It's a dangerously good bottle. It's insanely good. I mean, it really is. It drinks so easy. Speaking of summer whiskeys, this is a perfect summer whiskey. Like to sit outside on maybe one of these cooler summer nights by like a campfire. Like this thing would go down like water. Absolutely. May not remember the next morning or that night, but oh man, it's starting to open up even more. And this is just off the fresh crack too. I get more of that sugary pecan. A little bit of that smoky note is kind of gone now. It's got kind of gone back to that like caramel, kind of like blood orange. And then, a little bit of some spices in there, some baking spices kind of mingling around, a little bit of like allspice. And, surprisingly, a little bit further into the last two, I do pick up a little bit of oak in there. Get a little bit of oak tannin. I didn't get that before. Man. Cheers again, guys. He says, I'm excited to try that Obtanian pick. Never had a whiskey that high proof. Oh, is that the 160? The Trev and Jason's and is that their pick? Issue last year was to soften it up a little bit more in the rye spice. Before I forget, Dan, I need your leg day workout. You need my leg day workout. I can get you my leg day workout, man. I don't go to the gym and do legs. I do stuff. I do stuff at home. So the stuff I do at home is way better than what I can do in the gym with the leg workouts. So I had to have strong legs, extremely strong legs before. So, but yes, Adam, I can do that for you. So. Yeah, my ride took over after a while. It turned grassy. Only Still Austin ever had. High expectations moving forward for Still Austin. Yeah, great pick. Oh hell yeah, man! This is a great pick, guys. Like I said, if you haven't grabbed one, they should still be on shared pour unless they sold out. If you don't, you're gonna miss out. I promise you. I'm working on some Blendageddon blends tonight as we speak. Says Saucy. The Still Austin Red Corn Bourbon Bottled and Bond is fantastic. Also, I didn't get a chance to try that one. I don't know if they still have it for sale, but I was interested in that just to see what that was all about. It's crazy too, right? It's crazy to think like the difference in corn, how much that can impact the flavor of a whiskey. So you look at the Bloody Butcher corn compared to like a typical hybrid corn of yellow and white. The flavor profile is just completely different. It's just crazy to think that the different types of corn can really just separate whiskeys into the left and right. Just completely different flavor profiles just from the corn itself, let alone different mash bills and different, different proof points and stuff like that. So, what's the other one out of Texas that uses the blue corn? What's that company called? What is that? What is that? I forget the name of it. Somebody will know what I'm talking about though. But all of it, I mean, it's really crazy to think that corn can really influence the flavor of a whiskey that much. Yes, Balcones, thank you, Sugar Kitty. Yeah, Balcones for sure. Like, it's really weird to think of it like that. Just one single grain, with it being the same. Corn's the same. It's just the different heirlooms. It's just and one thing like that can just completely change the flavor profile. It blows my mind. Iron Root too. Yeah, I think Iron Root does well as Keith. New Riff has 2 heirloom corn bourbons that are unique: blue Clargy and yellow Leeming. Wow, that's crazy. I never heard of either one of them, but Bourbon of the Week, man, it was good to meet. So got to meet Chris from Bourbon of the Week as well at the Sagamore meetup. And yes, again, he is as handsome in person as he is on screen, guys. So, or vice versa, on screen as he is in person, whatever. But yeah, man, it was good to finally see you, Chris. Guys, if you haven't subbed to Bourbon of the Week, make sure you do. Puts out some amazing content all the time. Just really, really on top of the game. So make sure you give Chris a sub, and every other channel in here as well, guys. You got Mash and Metal in here, Saucy, 21090, Drift and Drams. I mean, there's a lot of people in here, guys, that have some channels. One that just popped in, Whiskey Uncensored. What's going on, Bourbon? Good to see you. Bourbon was part of the pick team for the Starlight pick too. So got to hang out with him for a couple nights. Good to see you, Ben. I'm blushing to stop it. Great finally meeting you as well. John Cloud's in the house. What's going on, John? Good to see you, bud. I'm actually going to pour a little bit more of this really quick, guys, before we get into this other blind. This is my warm-up pour. So good thing is that it's off profile, so it's not too it's not gonna mess with my palate too much with some of those off profile flavors. But really, like, there's this is it is a flavor bomb of a whiskey. I can tell you that, and it doesn't drink 117 proof. Like, if I were to blind this and try it, I would say maybe 105, around that range. Speaking of legendaries, here we are.
Who are you talking about?
He's not talking to you.
Not talking
look at these guys. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
I don't know.
How are you?
It's fun. Hey, thanks for having us on, dude. I didn't see. I'm trying to get the kids in the showers and out of the showers, and Andy's got to drive over here. And sorry we're late. Late.
Don't be sorry, man. No need to be sorry. But good to see you guys. I know you guys had a ton of success getting these bottles out of here. Like, unreal. Let me zoom in on this. Hold on. Let me zoom in.
Listen, we'd like to take all the credit for it in the world, but listen, we didn't make this juice. And in
there
fact,
it is.
We were told where to go.
Well, so let's put it this way: there's.
Look at
they
the
say
color,
sometimes you're good. They say sometimes you're lucky. I'd like to think we got a little bit of both on this one, because
yes,
it helps to have an ear like Nancy Fraley to tell you, hey, you may want to go here and you may want to poke
in
around
this
there.
house on this floor with the most forward-facing sun all the time. That's basically where she told us to go. She gave you direct directions, and he's like, "John, this is where we want to go." He's like, "I know."
The only thing I was worried about was forgetting where she told me to go.
Don't worry, we had it written down. So we're super proud of it. There's only, Andy, how many left?
Shereport said there's under 10 left.
10 left.
So this could go tonight.
Let's do it, man.
So it maybe it's tomorrow, but yeah, there was a big batch. I mean, there was 220, I believe.
222.
That's a lot of bottles. That's more than the Sagamore that I had.
It was insane.
We were not prepared for that.
When we heard that, we're like, yeah, we're thinking 180, 190 bottles. And like 222, we're like, oh boy. Nikes. But we were very blessed. 180 before it even hit the public.
Yep.
And then it went live with about 40 today.
And it's almost gone.
And there's about last check, there's under 10 left. So I was
that's amazing.
We can't thank our patrons. Yeah. I mean, our patrons, a lot of guys that watch your show too. And you guys really, you did it for us, and it's going to help us hopefully do other things. We're never going to do a lot of picks. We're never going to do the quantity that other groups do, but we want to do unique things and do fun things, and this is going to help us do.
Todd said he doesn't want to do any more than like 3 or 4 a month, and
yeah,
so
3 or 4 months.
That's where he cuts.
All right, so
off.
Dan, I haven't heard. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any of your show. Are you drinking this now?
I am, yeah. So I do want to say there were a couple people that says they just picked one up in the chat a little bit ago. So
nice,
good.
Thank you guys. Let's get it sold out tonight.
I think Brian Toner said he just picked one up, and then who was it? There was another person that said they picked one up as well.
Thank you guys.
That's fantastic. Thank
Cheers,
you.
Peter. Yeah, we really appreciate it. We've gotten a lot of Patreon members out of it too, which is great.
I know you said earlier too. It's nice to see some names in the chat. So we saw the Turks. We got to meet them a second where you're talking about that. Adam Shelton just said, "Nice to meet you guys at the
That's
show."
right.
It's nice to meet you too, man. It was great to get out there and kind of mingle with everybody and see everybody in Sagamore. What a killer event. That was a blast.
That was an awesome event. Yeah.
And to have a little sip with you earlier when you came over. It was nice just to stop by.
You didn't tell me about that.
I do.
Honestly, Dan, I didn't know we were going on tonight. I came home with my car. And he's like, "Can you go on at 8:30 with Dan?" I'm like, what? Sure.
Yes, I stopped by and he was like, "You got time for a pour?" I was like, "Yeah, I got time for a pour." So popped in there, and I mean, I just told him my tasting notes. So on this, for me, on the front of the palate, it's like one of those like sugared orange wedges, but it's a blood orange instead of a regular like the regular orange. And then it goes, and Andy had a great tasting note. He said cream soda.
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, man, there's that burst of vanilla. You get some of those cola notes kind of incorporated in there. There's definitely a little bit of some spiciness, like some allspice there on the middle of the palate. And then the proof, I think at any point, if it shows up, it's on the very back of the palate and into the finish, kind of where that spice really kind of like lets go and opens up. But this would fool me in a blind if there's no way I would guess this is 117 proof.
Correct.
There's not a chance in hell I would guess.
Probably how we've drank 3 bottles so far of it, Andy.
Well, we may or may not have taken it to Sagamore, and it may or may not have made it.
Didn't make it back.
We didn't make it through our.
And then we drank half a bottle on the show Tuesday night.
It was we were very fortunate. But the funny thing was when I got to get to the Rick House, and I heard you mention the red corn, by the way, earlier. Phenomenal. I got to try that straight out of the barrel. It was just insanely good. But we went through, and this is the nice part about sometimes when you were just out in Kentucky. The nice part about going and doing some things live is that I went through like 8-9 different barrels.
You mean at the Rick? You
at
go
at the Rick House?
Yeah.
And a couple like were instant cuts because they tasted so similar to the regular cast strength that you can grab in Total Wine. I said, we want something that's just going to stand out a little bit. This one, as soon as this came out, I was like, what is this? It was so off profile in such a good way. I was like, this has got to at least be a contender. I bring 4 others back. And Todd and I both looked at each other that night that we brought on, and we had both John and Christian on with us when we were tasting from Still Austin. We were like, this is it. We just kind of knew. Like it just kind of like
it really is. Like I was saying before, like if you were to put this in front of me and guess what state this is distilled, never would I guess that this is Texas whiskey. It just doesn't have that profile that you get from Texas whiskey. It offers something that's very unique, but it would be very hard for me to figure out that this is Texas whiskey, because like when you put this up against like their standard cast strength,
right?
You can easily tell the differences between the two. So this, like you said, to your point, is a very, very unique profile, which I absolutely love. Like this is, I was saying before, this is like a summer whiskey. So you could sit out on a nice, cool summer night by a campfire, whatever, and sip this thing until it's gone. And it is just, it's so good.
Yeah. So Salty was on earlier. I think he said it is dangerously.
It is dangerously good. It's ridiculous.
On a lot of this and not realize,
Dan,
like, hey,
Dan, you know this. When you've done a lot more than us in barrel picks. You were just doing it this past week. When you go there and you're sitting there and you're sipping through and you're looking for that unique barrel, right? And I'll never forget this when we were tasting through the lineup, and John, the master distiller at Still Austin, when he commented on this barrel, he said, "If you guys don't pick it, I'm doing something with it."
That says a lot, though.
It says it's such a unique barrel, and it's so good that we will find something with it. The funny thing is, this is a 3-year-old whiskey. This is a 3-year-old whiskey,
and you have to understand too that it's funny when we tell people 3-year-old whiskey. 3-year-old whiskey in that Texas heat, they get right now they're getting blasted. I mean, once the calendar turns to May, that Rick House is pushing 100 plus up until the end of September. So it is absolutely ridiculous what that does to aging. It's funny because we talked to Nancy about this too. She works a lot with Still Austin. She also works a lot with Wyoming whiskey. Totally different climate. As soon as it hits 40 degrees, it goes dormant, and you're waiting for this. So that period of time where you're waiting for that barrel influence to really take shape. A 12-year-old whiskey from Still Austin may be a ridiculous, oak bomb that's undrinkable with maybe 20% left because of how crazy that is. So
Angel's gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah, Angel's gonna get all of that. So we get the devil's reject. We this is why we were kind of like I will not worried about the amount of time it was in the barrel because of how quickly it aged.
I was worried that and again, Dan, you've been a lot more than me, so my worry was we picked this in late April late March, early April, and we didn't bottle it till June, and I was worried. And Andy was like, if anything, it's going to get better. I don't think the profile notes changed that much from when we tasted it, so it didn't change that much.
No.
Now that I've gone through it and drank it, it's pretty
writing
similar.
the notes for this is fun too because it's how it is. It's hard to write a whiskey description without sounding like a foolish wine person who's telling you to taste Grandpa's old leather wallet from 42. So, but I mean, when this came straight out of the barrel, the first thing that hit me was like, this is like draught cream soda. Like this is exactly what it is. This is a cream. This is a cream soda that you would get like when you were kids.
It really is. As soon as you said that, it's just like boom on the mid to back palate. It's just like that vanilla bomb, that cola note.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vanilla pudding too. I get a little bit too. It's high vanilla, that cola note combined together. Yeah, I love it.
Even remember that.
And then the rice spice.
Remember
finish.
that cola. Bourbon County Stout did the cola release. Mm-hmm. We were like, that'll never work with the flavors of that they had the anise and stuff in there. But there's like these touches of these amazing flavors. The more you drink it, it just kind of opens up. You had my bottle, which was halfway gone. Then you had the neck pour there, and just even the difference between those are different. It's really cool how this thing continues to open up and progress. We're
proud of it.
Proud of it, yeah.
I should be. This is a fantastic whiskey for sure. Sugar Free said, "Man, I had the Thai iced tea. They soak the tea leaves in vanilla and add spices like Indian chai." Yes, I have, Sugar Kitty. Not too often though, but I think it's a great point when picking bottles. It's great to see some traditional flavors that brand. A lot of fun when you can get something different.
Our t-shirt game. David Bay says our t-shirt game's on point. I think he's talking about yours. I just have Wyoming whiskey, which is cool, but yours is much cooler than mine. I like that. That's a pretty kick-ass shirt. There you go.
Big Vic's in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you, buddy.
Vic. What's going on? So there it is. Joe Graves put what you said 9 left now.
And that's before.
So,
I talked to him before he came on. So
I would love to go on tomorrow night's show and it'd be sold out.
That'd be awesome. Fantastic. Again, guys, anybody looking at this is, and it's not even about like if you want something that's very unique, and again, that's not if you've had Texas whiskey before.
Oh yeah.
This is not anything like what you're going to taste when you taste this. Again, my tasting notes are like one of the little sugar coated candy blood oranges on the front of the palate. Middle of the palate, you start to get some of that allspice, and then that's when you get some of that to your point, Todd, that like vanilla pudding, and then Andy said like that cream soda note, get some of those cola notes in there. That starts to open up, and then all of a sudden, right on the back of the palate, before it goes down into the finish. Boom, spice bite right there. And then like, again, to think that this is 116 proof is mind blowing because it does not drink 116.
Yeah, I think when we the barrel was 120. So they all their cash drinks, unless it's a Nancy pick, is at 116. So I was worried about that. I was like, and they assured us it's not.
John said, literally, less than this will go into it. You will never be able to tell, and it will just enhance the flavors. They're just going to pop. So
that's why everything's 116.
So I was incredible. Well, they don't do a lot of this now. I think they will.
It's going to change. I think there's a lot coming. You're going to see a lot of Still Austin single barrel picks very quick. We're just lucky to be the first one.
Hey, there's J.A. Great talking music with you too, man. That was awesome. Yeah, it was great. What a cool event.
Giselle's,
that was a great event. That was fun.
Gary Franchi in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you.
Battles you already went through. So this is now. So I had one at the Mash and Journey meetup. I've had one that we've drank.
We drank one on the whole stream.
I finished that, and this is my third bottle I've gone through. I've had it for a week, and
guys, the oiliness on this thing is nuts.
Yep. great. Listen, we just picked it. I mean, this is why we love Still Austin. So any pick that we do, it's gonna be because we actually really love it's a unique experience. And we both thought when we were thinking about our first pick, who would it be? And Still Austin really resonated. We had a contact there. Again, better be lucky sometimes than good. We had, the CEO on, and you had a contact with their single barrel and their master distiller, and you were going down for work. Everything just, you know how it goes, Dan. So sometimes it works, right? And we were lucky to be in the right place at the right time and get this beautiful barrel. And I'm so glad it was our first one for our page. Because, listen, our Patreon's really bought out for us. When we heard 222, we're like, oh shit, that's a lot. I don't think we only had at the time, I think 69, 70 patrons. We're up to 91 now.
That's amazing.
Because of this pick, which is great, man. That's amazing. Thank you guys so much.
It's been
going to help us
get
another
fun.
One. Yeah.
We also didn't realize everything that went into it. I mean, there's
that's true too.
We didn't guys do all this all the time, but it's fun from the marketing side. Because I mean, even little things like I was like, look, I want to do our own pictures, and I want to do a label in the back, and I want to do like all these things. It was just kind of like
which we're still refining.
The
process. We learned something about this through label.
We did. But the thing is, it will make us better for the next pick. Hopefully,
that's it.
But yeah, we also wanted to have that personal connection. And Still Austin has been really great to us because they even, like Brandon even said that at the time, Brandon Joldersma was their CEO, and he said, we don't really do this. And now,
in terms of you coming to the Rick House and drilling holes, and
it's but he set it up. He's like, yeah, let's do it. We have on the show, and now I think you will see more of this because they're realizing too, they're hot right now.
Well, yeah, Barrels for Hope. Don't you have Barrels for Hope coming? Isn't Barrels for Hope coming?
Yeah. So we, unfortunately, I wasn't on the pick team for that one. I couldn't do it. So, but we did pick a barrel for Still Austin. So
you're gonna love it.
I mean, I think
that's I don't know if it's gonna be an off profile pick. I mean, I have to wait and kind of see.
Sure, it's amazing.
Honestly, Dan, if it's not an off pro, it's still gonna be fantastic. Their juice is.
I agree.
To be so good so young is kind of unheard of. But the thing is, like we talked about this with Jay West last week from Shared Port too. Texas whiskey is weird because some of it does feel crafty in a way, and that's not a bad thing. But like Balcones is still refining in some ways. Some of it's great, some of it's still being refined. Garrison Brothers, I think, is overpriced. I like some of their juice, but it's overpriced. All these distilleries are kind of fighting for Texas attention, and out of nowhere, you've got Still Austin that just kind of does things a little bit differently, which I guess sums up the city in a nutshell. And I think it's really cool. So like this whole match of like that music vibe that we take from the channel and the musical influences of Austin, all these things, it just kind of coalesced and came together, and it just was a great experience.
I mean, again, you guys, I think for being your first pick, you guys smashed this one. You guys crushed it, honestly. Like it's
yeah. I mean, a little bit of credit goes. Andy's the one who went down there. I couldn't go down there. He was down there in business. He's like, I'll make a day just to go to Still Austin, and then once we were down there, we're like, it was funny how this evolved because we were not. I think the initial thing was Christian was going to say, "Yeah, I'll get 3 or 4 samples for you guys to pick from," and he's like, "Well, hold on, I'm coming down there. I'm going to go to the Rick House," and they're like, "Well, the Rick House is like 35 miles outside of where we are, like in Austin. It's not like literally, it's not right down the road. It's sort of similar to like Sagamore." Yeah, and he's like, "We don't really do that." To your point. And Andy's like, well, ask Brandon, the CFO. And Brandon's like, if they're here, yes, take them. And they're like, all right, we're going to the Rick House.
and then when we got there, it was like, and I know where to go because Nancy told us where to go.
Andy's got written notes. I want to go here. This is where I want to go. Take me here. So, I mean, listen, we could take credit.
The answer is always no until
it's sold out, guys. Darrell Stewart says it is sold out.
Yeah. Hey, high five. Way to go, Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
No, you guys, this is you guys. You guys did it.
I'm going to have one more
another pour for that.
You guys did it. That's a lot of bottles to go through, guys. Dang.
Hold on.
That's awesome.
I got an applause. Oh, they can't hear that. Hold on. Can you hear that? Can you guys hear that?
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Quickly sold out, guys. Still Austin, picked from 21090.
Awesome.
Sold out. Gone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That makes me
Damn, I was going to buy another bottle. I guess not now.
You're not now.
Not anymore. Guess that ain't happening. Well,
that's cool.
I might know a guy who has an extra on the way, so.
I've got plenty of them. Don't worry.
That's true.
I've got
No, they dropped it today. The email came out, text you at 1:00. So here we are at 9.
Well, let's be honest. We were, again, it's like you don't see a lot of single barrel. I mean, Sealbacks has been the only other people that we saw that you have seen 2 barrels go out. And I know there's a lot more coming, but we're lucky that we picked something.
The irony too is that we did try and hook up with Sealbacks.
That's true. Sealbacks did not return our phone call.
We could not get that. It kept us, and we were like, you know what? I'm going down there. We got to figure out something.
Remember Dan? Dan, I asked you. I said, Dan, can you give me your contact at Shared Poor? And you're like, yeah, it's Jay. It's great. Call him.
2 seconds later, Jay's like,
I said, Dusty Dan
Done.
gave me your name. He's like, sure, I'll talk to you. And he had no idea who we were, which was a great thing. I just dropped your name, Dan. So you know, thank you for. We were like, oh, what are we going to do? Because we had everything lined up, but who's going to sell it for us?
Hey man, Sealbox missed out, so you know.
Well, they're doing their. I know they're. I don't know.
Hey, we're not no knock on them. It's just it's amazing how things kind of just came into place again.
Yep,
we were really happy.
Well, guys, big congratulations. That's a lot of bottles to move through. You guys did it. You crushed it. This is a stellar freaking pour. This is fantastic,
Thank
guys.
you, man.
For those of you who bought the bottle, you're in for a treat. I'll tell you that right now.
No,
I do want to say hi to Ricky Z. He popped in the chat. Tim Cornet, cheers, man. Good to see you. I thought there was one more person that popped on, but I didn't see. Maybe not.
Yeah, JG said Todd Daniel buy 219 bottles to sell out. Yeah, we bought a few bottles. I was
guys, honestly, that's a lot. Like it's a lot of bottles, and you know, for me with that Sagamore, just I mean, for the same for you guys, when you see that number, it's like, okay, well, wait a minute, this is a lot. This is a lot to get through, and but I mean, you guys have the support, you know, through your whiskey tube and whatnot. Like it's, you know. You guys got it.
And we, you know, I guess when I was surprised, Jay threw out the email just for us, which was cool. I mean, to see our pick go out for their, you know, email. It was like, hey, here's a Still Awesome pick from 21090 and like rock on or something like that. And I was like, oh crap, that's us. You know, I get his emails all the time.
Yeah, weird.
It's so weird.
It was cool.
I was like, that's my basement bar picture behind there. That's like, that's pretty cool.
No, we're very humbled. And look, we know you've got some stuff to get to tonight, so we're not going to keep you all night. But
fake news. No, it was 222. It was 222 divided by 6. What do you get? I'm telling you. So
no, it was crazy.
Oh, by the way, we haven't taled about this, but hey, we're on another pick together there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, let me zoom in on that really quick. Hold on one second. That's one we haven't really talked about.
I'm going to go get some more of this. This is still available up at the.
Yeah, guys. So this is the Summer Jam pick that we had a 3-way collab through. It was 21090. The Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and myself. We all kind of picked these. We picked the barrels and we went with the VDN finish. And
look at that cool.
It is very cool.
I love it.
Hold on, let me take Joe's comment down really quick.
There you go.
There we go.
Isn't that great?
Beautiful label.
And such a cool tie to the horse racing legacy and industry here in Maryland. I think it was really cool they had that there. So as he came in, did this work with Sagamore. But that again, that's another bloody good bottle. You know, you talk about Starlight. And Sagamore's right up there as far as finished whiskeys. I mean, they do a fantastic job. And,
I mean, you know, it's crazy because like, you know, we went to when we went to Starlight, it was you know, obviously with their tiered system, we only have access to certain things, right? And you know, whereas you know Jason and them, they've already done 3 picks through them, and Chad and Sarah have done a couple picks through them too. So they're obviously going to have access to things that we don't have access to. But the Armagnac finish that we picked, I mean, I thought it was damn good. So I mean, I thought it was a damn good pick. I was torn between that and the cognac finish. From what we tried, what we were able to try. But like I said, like, you know, so when we were going through and tasting these single barrels, like there honestly there wasn't that much time to even sit down, and there was no writing. It was just, we just stood up the whole time. By the time we started tasting that pour, he was already thieving from another barrel, walking over. Like, so it was either you had to finish it or throw it out and then go right into the next sample. So it was very kind of fast paced. You know, they did have a group, again, Master Journey behind us, and then Chad and Sarah behind them. God. You know,
you get a whole barrel, Dan. You have the whole barrel for you, right?
No, I have a half a barrel.
Half a barrel.
Yes, and Jay is going to take the other half of the Armagnac.
Oh, so you did this with Jet. Nice.
And then I went in on halves with the Mash and Journey on an apricot brandy bourbon.
That's okay.
So the Armagnac is a rye, and then the apricot brandy is a bourbon. So we went on halves on that. They picked like a French oak honey Honey Barrel, which was
Yeah,
just stupid good.
Yeah, all that.
Yeah, so we didn't have access to that, anything like that, but it is what it is.
It's okay, just the movie star quality.
Yeah,
That's the fun thing about going to Austin. Hey, we had access to it. There was nobody in line in front of us. We're like, we get the front row.
Oh, and then they took me to lunch and got me sloshed. It was
funny. I'll never forget that call.
I had gotten done tasting through a dozen stuff because I also got to taste. I got a port finish they haven't released. I got their bottled and bond, which is red corn and the blue corn.
And the blue corn you tried.
I think there's one other reserve that I tried.
8 of our samples.
And then the samples, and I'm like, I'm good. And of course, who was
you weren't
Nancy?
spitting them out.
I was like, you just gotta spit them out, you'll be fine. I was like, well, so
I didn't do that.
Next thing you know, they're like, hey, there's a little cool town about 20 miles away. You're heading back towards Austin. Let's go get lunch. I was like, okay.
And he calls me during ride. Like, we're in Texas, right? They're lenient, aren't they? So I'm like, I don't know.
Adam Shelton says Starlight was really cool, but super chaotic. Yeah, I mean, again, it was a lot of people in one rick house. You know, because all three groups are in there with everybody they brought. So it was just a lot of people kind of just in there at one time.
That's awesome.
And then Dave says 210.90 still also picks secondary market $5,000.
I don't know about that, but
it's the very first one, guys. That's a rarity, man.
That's right. There you go.
No.
We're working on other things. Dan, we'll have to do a collab with me and you, man. We'd love to do something with you. I mean, we did this Mash and Journey thing. That was their thing, though. We were just part of that. But we'll have to figure out what's a good opportunity for both of us to kind of get our pals together and do something.
I agree, and I'm kind of with you guys. Like I'm not of the mindset to just go out and just do picks just to do picks.
Right.
I thought that Starlight would be something that was fun, to where you have the opportunity to try a lot of different whiskeys that were finished and a variety of casks. But I thought that'd be fun for the group to get together and do. But I would love to do something with you guys. And
figure it out. Yeah.
I know Jeffrey Wax said he would love to do a collab too. So maybe kind of get some you guys, me, and then the Whack crew, Darrell, Kelsey, and Jeff together.
I'm down with that. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we're totally down. Like, honestly, we really want to continue to do. We're gonna go for quality over quantity.
I'd say our goal is what,
and so I'd say we'll take the opportunity. We want to be like the Ravens, dude. Best available, right? They're in the draft. It doesn't matter. Do you need a quarterback? Do you need a running back? No, we want the best available, and whatever we can find something we feel is unique, works with what we want.
It's tough. There's so many picks out there.
Because believe it or not, we're not going to name names, but we turned down 2 or 3 other distilleries that we did not want to do something with.
Well, we didn't progress. We didn't turn them down. We just said we're not.
We
going
had
forward.
the opportunity, and we just said no.
We wouldn't have done. It wouldn't have been successful. It would not have. Listen, if we would have done these other. At a time we had 50 Patreons. There's no way we would have sold 222 barrels.
I feel like we should do a pick where we have the old man for the Muppets up there with me and Todd, because I feel like that would be perfect. That's what we should actually do. That could be the back of the logo.
Oh, that what it is?
That'd be hilarious. Joe Graves says old line pick. That
I love Old Line. Andy loves on, but I don't know. Nobody knows Old Line, so we'd have to sell it like crazy.
I think at the Sagamore Farm, for the people who were out of towners that came in, I think that really opened their eyes to Old Line. I think there was people that walked away with their rum, that walked away with some of their I think Madeira finished.
Well, I mean, look on Hello Again Whiskey Friends. Jeffrey Wax just was singing the praises of the Old Line single barrel that he has. It's up on his
There is still
channel.
some left at Drug City, Allview, a few syndicate places.
I've got it. It's right here.
No, of the port finish. Do you have the port?
No, I've got their single barrel.
They have a port finish.
Single barrel. The single barrel is fantastic.
Usually their finish they all come in around 100 proof. This was 126 proof, and it was so good. It's it was literally one of the best.
Well, you love that. That was one of your favorite whiskey 2 years ago.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was so good. Joe said he brought their single barrel, but Adam Shelton said, I forgot Bourbon Finds. So Bourbon Finds was there before we got there. So it was like Bourbon Finds, and then us, and then the Master Journey Whiskey Club, and then it's Bourbon Night. We're all in this. It was a lot of people for sure.
We got a lot of picks coming from Starlight.
That's what I mean. Like, so I hope when they do release that they're kind of staggered, because otherwise that is going to flood the market.
Let me say that I have probably half a dozen or more Starlight picks at home, and the one thing I will say is they're all really, really good.
Yeah.
So I think that you're going to walk away.
But if they flood the market, though.
There's that. But if you can sell it, the people are going to be happy with what they get.
Sure.
It's just a matter of it's like anything else. Like you got to sell them, and you got to do what you got to do.
There you go.
Them,
Eric's stopping at Drug City tomorrow to pick up some old line.
Look at Top Dog's comment.
So
He says Jeff hyped it up so much I started driving.
Yeah,
got 5 hours into the drive, and now I'm rescuing
the old line single barrel. I was like, this is one of the best whiskeys of the year. I like it a lot too.
They're starting to get a lot of publicity. You're even starting to see national publications when they start talking about best single malts out there.
Dan, maybe we could do
because it was Westward for a while, and some other, and they were talking about all these single malts who do it right. Old Line's now in that category where they're starting to play ball with the big boys, and they're good. They're hidden gems.
My only worry about that is there's not, maybe it's changing, and it's not a lot of people know who Old Line. You can't get it outside of this area, right?
Yep.
So that's a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing is, hey, you're providing something that you can't get in your
I think that could be a strength.
Well, and then the good thing, yes, the bad thing is no one really knows about it. So I think with Still Awesome, for us at least, I think maybe you hadn't heard of it or hadn't tried it, but you certainly have heard about it, right? You've heard about Still Austin. You kind of want to have Still Austin. And we were really good with
they're only in 2 states and Total Wine. So if you don't go to Total Wine, there's not a Total Wine near you may not have heard Still Austin.
I think people have been
there's also
singing the praise of Still Austin. And Nancy Fraley was behind it. There was a lot of good things with Still Austin.
Yeah.
With Old Line, I love Old Line. I just don't think people know who Old Line is. And so it'd be up to us to kind of sell that and I think Jeffrey Wack doing that and us and people are saying how good they are, but I don't think a lot of people know.
You get enough influence, and that's what we are. We're whiskey influence. You get enough people out
what
there.
Are we?
Well, that's what this was supposed to. It's what we're supposed to be, right?
I don't think we are just.
Yeah, I mean, Jeffrey Wax said that barfly pick is straight Hershey syrup. Yeah, I mean, it's where was it? So Eric says he's stopping at Drug City tomorrow night to pick up some Old Line. So Eric, you're going to be in the area, and then Top Dog, are you going to be in the area as well? Is that what I'm hearing? So it says, Jeff, I did up so much I started driving. I got 5 hours into the drive, and now I'm resting and seeing tomorrow. So, John, are you going to be here tomorrow? Eric, are you going to be here tomorrow? Is that kind of what's going on?
I think Eric's coming down for work, right? Because he was looking for a hotel room, wasn't he? By Drug City. Remember that?
We told him to stay in Harbor East.
We said, don't stay there.
Stay in Harbor
East. Sorry, Top Dog said the joke. I was going to say, man, that's crazy. Coming down to this side of town and 21090.
I think that's maybe. But I still think people know, especially in this community, who Still Austin is. If you, and I think Old Line's growing, but I think within the whiskey tube community that we're all in, it's a pretty big community. But I think people know who Still Austin is. If you said the same thing about Old Line, I think half people would be like, I've never heard of Old Line before. Honestly, I'm just the truth. They're not in every total wine, and Nancy Fraley is not backing them. I think people know who Nancy Fraley is. So
but people know who Todd is, and that's what really is important.
I mean, come on. Anyway,
I've already put down 3 pours of this Still Austin, and I'm ready to go back for more.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I've had 3 glasses already.
No, it's so good. So now I can't wait for the Barrel for Hope. Yeah, that's I can't wait to try that. I mean, single barrel.
It'll be cool to compare them. You know what I mean? Just to see the differences in the single barrels.
I even saw on the Mash and Journey their slide deck of everything they have coming. On the ones that are in talks, it's Still Austin. So everyone's going in there now. We just beat everybody, Andy. Way to go.
Yes, you did. Very first Still
You know what it is? We reached out on Instagram and wanted to have some, because we love them so much. We wanted to have them on our show. And we got their CFO at the time on the show, and he loved it. Gave us his number, his personal cell phone, and said, if you're ever in the area, and we're like, well, he said that. So here's the phone call.
Him. He's like, who? No,
he's like, what? And he's like, sure, come on down. And at first he was just going to show us around. And he's like, well, if I'm down here, can we do a pick? And they're like, sure. Here's my single barrel program manager. That's Christian. And we're like, Christian, we don't really just want you to pick 3. We want to go to the rec out. And he's going to be down there. He's like, we don't do that. Mm-hmm. So it was a. I don't know. We got very.
By the way, Jeffrey's comment is he's spot on. By the way,
what
he said, I never heard of Old Line 2 weeks ago, and now I have 2 bottles of sherry finish sample that haunts my dreams, and I can't stop talking about. This is how momentum starts. That's what I mean when I talk about the power of it's word of mouth.
I agree.
If you say something is really, really good and it's not, then your credibility goes to shit. But if it is,
true,
and it really is something worth talking about. Then I don't
think that was anybody's first, Eric. Except Still Austin. There you go.
I mean, to Jeff's point, you're right though. That is how momentum starts on things like that. For a lot of people who were out of towners that came in and tried the Old Line, I think they were probably blown away by it, right? It's just something that you don't get to taste every day. It's very different. Maybe it's not for everybody, but
Right. It's single malt. So,
Jeff says it haunts his dreams. Like, that's crazy, right?
I
That's
tell you,
awesome.
that
I love
port
that.
finish was my gateway. I was like, this is just unbelievably good. And I have, what do I have? 4 bottles of it? Like, I bought 3 backups because it was that good. I said, I do not want to ever run out of this. I need an endless supply. It was fantastic. So yeah, you never know.
Jeff says, wait, am I supposed to worry about credibility? Oh, crap.
Yeah. Well, here, Whiskey Saint, I can say the same about Hard Truth a couple of months ago, and hey, Luke, that's true. That is a very good point about. So that's true. I mean, we love both those brands. You know, Hard Truth and
Darrell, that's a good point, man.
It takes one video, sometimes that's all it takes is one, and then things start to just.
I got to review the Hard Truth. I haven't done the Sweet Mash yet. I got to do that. Yeah.
But I think that's kind of how things get going. And so, like, Still Austin. Look, before this, we saw Sealbacks. No one had done anything with them. So and now everyone's lining up to do Still Austin. Like, momentum does build quick.
All right,
and we were just there. We were just there.
Yeah, I mean, Dave said K-Luke Batch 6 is available at Sealbox soon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Coming out already.
Damn.
Awesome.
They're not wasting any time.
They're doing good.
Top 5. Old Line is the Middle West a year ago.
See, look at that. That's and those bold words, but you know what? That would be great. And you think about it, like
Discovery Series.
Texas whiskey, gets a bad reputation. All of a sudden, Still Austin can flip that on its head. Yeah. Sagamore completely changed what everyone thought about Maryland whiskey and turned it back around with restored that heritage that we had. But Old Line quietly just kind of crept up. And if you're going to talk about 1 and 2, I'm going Old Line and Sagamore right now. They're both right there as the top 2 dogs as far as whiskey.
Sagamore's. Come on.
I didn't say 1 and 2 in any order. I'm saying he's up there, the little fella. What I'm saying
I was just say slow your roll there a little bit.
They're both and by the way, this is all from
that's just my opinion.
Old Lines is all theirs. Sagamore was sourced for a while. Yeah. So I got to give them props for being who they were and what they did. It was fantastic.
How about a Sagamore single barrel of their own juice? What about that?
Ooh. You know, I was actually able to try the Junkies Sagamore bourbon that I forget who brought it. May have been Katie and Ethan that brought it to Kentucky.
Okay.
I was actually able to try their bourbon. So,
how was it?
I thought. I mean, I didn't try the batch 1, but the batch 2 was good. It was really good. So, if that's any indication of where they're heading.
So I got a little tidbit, but I have tried it too, and it's in bottle form, and it's sitting on the Eastern Shore. It's just been sourced out to another Maryland distillery. I can get I'll share a bottle with you on
that's true.
Yeah. It was kind of a test run. I remember tasting this in a single barrel. And I was like,
that was like a year ago.
I said, damn, this is good for a Maryland bourbon. Holy crap. Like, this is fantastic.
BT says,
only the fact he's like, yeah, it's ours.
There you go. How would you do a Wyoming whiskey pick?
Hell yeah. Not easy to figure out how to do that, though. Good luck. We've tried. It's not easy.
Yeah.
I think Wyoming whiskey single barrel, again, we'd have Nancy tell us where to go, and we would probably knock that out of the park.
Adam says what we need to do is keep ignoring the big guys and promote these smaller brands so the big fellas like MGP and BBC start buying them up.
I mean,
sarcasm.
Well, yeah, we don't want that to happen, but I think that's a good point. I mean, where do you think the value in the picks are, right? I mean,
there is a correlation between, you remember this craft beer explosion that happened about, like 6 years ago, where there was 1,000 new breweries, then there's 5,000, there's 10,000, like it's just, and now there's one on every corner.
Yep.
There is danger that can happen in whiskey, but it's going to take longer because you can't be good 2 weeks after you brew a beer. It doesn't work that way with whiskey. So things take time. So some of these smaller outfits now, you're starting to see, like, Hard Truth is a good example, right? What is it? Nashville, Indiana. Okay. Once you start to establish your roots and you start to grow and more people know about you.
Yeah, Hard Truth, for sure. I think Whiskey saying,
yeah, you start to see things pop up. Traverse City, you start they're starting to do their own juice now. You're starting to see people.
I still haven't seen the Traverse City finished bottles around here. Remember, you said it was going to be distributed everywhere. I haven't seen it anywhere.
They're coming next year.
That's
only there.
Yeah. Good to see you, man.
Anyway.
But yeah,
I gotta go say goodnight to my son. So,
all right.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna get into this.
We're gonna hop out of
we are reviewing tonight ECB 923.
Nice.
We'll let you know how that goes.
I saw Jason's. I should have watched it. I actually did a short on art. So I've already tried it. You have not tried it.
I have not tried it.
So I've done a short on art, but we want to compare it not to B, but to A. And I don't know. I loved A123. So this one is special for sure, I think.
You're special, Todd.
Thank you. So we're going to do that. We're going to review that. be looking for that. And I think everybody's trying to get this. The problem with Dan, we don't get Elijah Craig barrel proofs for like what, a month after it's released here in Maryland. We'll see it probably in October, which sucks.
Yeah, so, I don't see them around me. I'd have to go up by like the places that Joe and Chris go, because like right around me, I don't get any of that, man. So it's rare.
It's funny. Joe mentioned that. Joe, I'm not to rag on you, but Joe's like, oh, I think that Woody's has C923. I'm like, oh shit, really? Already? It's crazy. So I go over there, and I'm like, do you have the Elijah Craig barrel proof that just came out? He's like, yeah, I think so. Here you go. I'm like, oh, it's C922, buddy. It was last year's. You were right on the batch, but just the wrong year.
There was a C and a 9.
There was a C and a 9, but I was like, oh.
Darrell said in Hard Truth in 3 years, we're putting out some unbelievable stuff. Can't wait. I agree.
They're putting out good stuff now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
For what it is. I mean, it's in my blind tonight. I got the caramel malt and the blind. So
let's go.
That'll be fun.
All right,
good to see it.
Well, Dan, we're gonna hop off to get this done, and I got to say goodnight to my son.
Good sipping with you, brother.
Thanks
you,
for
man.
having us on.
Yeah,
Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it. Thanks for doing this job, man. We appreciate it.
Wow, that's
you guys. Cool. And we'll be in touch soon.
Sounds good, brother.
Rock
Cheers,
on, brother.
guys.
We'll see you.
Ooh. Yeah.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
See you, bud.
All right, guys. That was Todd and Andy from 21090 joining us for a little celebration pour. Knew they were going to sell out tonight, and they did indeed. So big congrats to them, because that is a lot of bottles to get through, but they picked an absolutely delicious pour. I drank 3 pours of it before this blind. Probably not the best idea, but anyway. So sorry again tonight, guys. So in the blind, I do have the Sagamore Cask Strength. This is the 112 proof. This was put out before they put out the 123 proof versions that you see now. The Hard Truth Caramel Malt is in this blind. We got the Rye 3, which is a rum finish, that is in this blind. Bone Snapper Rye, 4 years, distilled out of Indiana, is in this blind. And then the Stuffin' Whiskey Found North pick ended up in this blind. So that's the 5 we have tonight. I have them all in the Gold Glens. 2 of these will move on to the next round. You never know who's going to win. So, some of the whiskeys that I have in this blind, I have my Dusty Debut. I have the Sagamigos. I have the Sagamore Cask Strength 123 proof. Again, I just randomized everything, put it into a list, and then and that's where it landed. So, and again tonight, guys, I am doing a giveaway. For those of you who missed it, I am going to give away 2 samples of the Still Austin. I'm going to give away 2 samples of the what was that? The Old Taylor, which is a fresh bottle from the 60s, 6-year Old Taylor. I'm going to give away 5 samples of that tonight. We can split it out amongst the community, and then 2 samples of the Old Granddad from 1967. So there's a lot of samples to give away tonight, guys. If anybody's interested, again, super chat. We'll get to it at the end of the night after this blind. If not, save them for next time. No, not a big deal. So Old Bones is in your bracket. Yes, Keith, Old Bones is in the bracket. That is, I'm not sure where that is, but it's definitely in the bracket. Yes. Yep. Old Bones 10. That is in there. Hard Truth and Found North for the win. Calling it. All right. So Darrell says Hard Truth and Found North for the win. All right. Roscoe P. Coltrane. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Keith, thank you so much, guy, buddy, for the $10 super chat. You are in it to win it. I do have to get a pin. I don't have a pin unless there's a mod that can keep track of super chats. I don't know if somebody's in here that can keep track of them for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. Again, it's a lot of samples to kind of get through tonight, guys. And JG says, "Hell, man, that's awesome. They have to hide it." Sample train going choo-choo. Appreciate that, guys. John, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. You are in it to win it. Jeffrey Wack with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. You are in it to win it as well. That is a lot of samples to kind of get through. Depending on what things look like, I may have to kind of put some things together. So maybe it'll be maybe it'll be an old granddad and an old Taylor sample pack together or something, depending. So let me, Dan, I came in kind of late. Otherwise, I track. It's fine, Richie. I don't think there's been a super chat before I think I got one super chat before the one from Keith, one from Top Dog, and then one from Jeffrey Wack. I think it was one from JG. JG did a $5 super chat and it says, "Look at the odd couple, Andy and Todd." So we got JG with 1 entry, Keith Thompson with 2 entries, Top Dog with 2, and Jeffrey Wack with 2 entries as well. Yep, JG, I got you, buddy. Hit that like button, folks. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Sean. Good to see you, bud. Hope all is well with you as well. David Bay says, hit that like button. All right, guys, I already have these samples poured in the Golden Glens. We're going to shift them around, mix them up, and we're going to see what happens. No idea what's what. I do have a key that is behind me, sitting underneath of this Bardstown glass right here. Cheers, Dan and all. Sipping on some Clyde Mays 15-year tonight. Very nice. Man, last time I had Clyde Mays, it's been a while since I had Clyde Mays. Again, that's not something I typically see around here. So, JG, all right, perfect. Yeah, so that's, again, guys, that'll be the giveaway for tonight. And maybe we'll have to pair some things together for the winners. So the Old Taylor I'm excited to get into. It was a pint that I picked up. I had been waiting on. It's 6 years old. It's National Distillers Distilled. So be looking forward to getting into that one tonight. All right, here we go. We are mixed up. Who Flung Dung is in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you. It's gold. Yes, it is. It is gold. So I'm going to start this blind going this way. Just easier for me to go this way. All right, make sure these things are spread out. Cheers, guys. Again, thank you all for stopping in here tonight. I know these blinds can kind of drag on week after week, but like I said, maybe I'll cut it off in the middle and do a blind flight for some people. Get some people to come on and do a blind together. Maybe separate this whole long drawn out thing. Maybe get some people on like three different lives, kind of separated a little bit. So Dave Vo saying with a $10 super chat, Dusty Dan and 21090s next pick. Pour some Stag on me. That's awesome. That would be amazing. That would really be something if that could happen, like a Stag Junior pick or something like that. But you never know. We could pick something that may taste like a Stag. So maybe we partner with Jeffrey Wack, Darrell, and Kelsey as well. Maybe it's a big collab. We'll see. We'll get something in the works though. Brian Toner with a $10 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Cheers. Happy Labor Day. Again, much appreciated. Thank you guys so much again for the super chats. Again, cool giveaways tonight, guys. 2 samples. The Pour Some Austin on Me from 21090, and then we'll do 4 to 5 samples of the Old Taylor, and then we'll do 2 samples of the Old Granddad, which is National Distillers Distilled as well. Katie Turk cracked that at the Sagamore meetup. So, all right, guys, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and get into this blind. I'll be kind of going through some notes and stuff like that as we go through. You should just get it over with and do an NBC barrel. Man, that would be absolutely amazing. That would actually be a really good barrel to pick. And maybe we could use that title. Pour some Stag on Me. That would be maybe ideal. I'd knock the dust off would be a good pick name for you. That's true, Keith. That'd be a good name. I've been trying to figure out what to name the Starlight pick, but that would be cool. All right, guys, here we go. Going in. First one. It's a little light on the nose. It's very it's got an odd note on the nose though. almost like little chocolatey, maybe. Chocolate like pie crust on the nose. Prescription bourbon's in the house. What's going on, man? Cheers, buddy. Eric Demara says he likes that idea too. Yeah. Yep. Get it while the getting is good. It's only going up in price. I agree, Adam. Completely agree with that, bud. Can you imagine if there's like a 1500 series bottle that we could actually pick if it was even available? That would be amazing. All right, let's get this one on the palate. Cheers, guys. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Cool. That's good. That's really good. That's very it's got like a little bit of like maybe craftiness to it. Maybe that's what I'm kind of picking up, but it's very like it sits on the palate and like grasp it like pretty well. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it, but it's got this caramel-y chocolate malt kind of bomb going on to it, like on the middle of the back of the palate on that one. That's pretty good. There's 5 bottles unaccounted for. Oh, 5 barrels unaccounted for. Oh, of the 1500 series, Adam? Richie Z, see you next week. Who flung lung cheers? Well, that's a very different nose on that one. Wow. Nice. Man, that would be awesome to pick an NBC. I'd have to, if anybody has an NBC contact, let me know. That'd be interesting to be able to try to do a pick with them. And I wonder who, I don't know if I could go through shared pour, if I'd have to go through somebody else with that. Griff with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Griff, if you are John Griffin from the Sagamore meetup, let me know. But if it is, it was very nice to meet you and talk with you for that, that short period of time. But thank you if it is you for becoming a Patreon member as well. But thank you, man. You're in it to win it. Got some cool samples to give away tonight. So cheers, buddy. Thank you. NBC does their own. Okay. Well, that would be a lot of fun then. I mean, not have to go through somebody. I mean, that would be amazing. Let me see if I can reach out to somebody from there or see if I can find someone who did a pick through them and see if I can maybe get something like that set up. That would be a lot of fun. This is a very different nose on this one. So that's like that's got a little bit of more like your traditional kind of rye notes on that one. Slight hit of mint, like a caramel kind of vanilla mixture on the middle of the palate. Back of the palate, it gets like rye spice forward. Not too much on the finish on that one. Interesting. I definitely like the first one better than that one. That's still really good. It's just different profile. Good luck, Dave. Maybe you'll find one. Maybe ask a Barrels for Hope board member. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, very true. I was literally just thinking about that when you said that. I can reach out to Josh and see what he had to do to try to get a barrel. But that would be a ton of fun. See if we can get something going with them. And the biggest thing too is being able to travel. I mean, that's one of the best experiences of doing the barrel picks in general is being able to go out and actually travel to the place where you do the pick rather than have them send the samples to you. So. Joe Graves with a $10 super chat. Joe, thank you so much, my friend. You are in it to win it. Can't wait to see you soon. I got the date marked on my calendar, man. So I'm taking a personal day off just for you. Just for you. Got back-to-back days off because I know the next morning I'm probably going to feel a little rough. So can't wait to see you, though. Going to be bringing your Found North and your K. Luke sample. So it's coming. All right. So these two are done. Eric Damaris with a $10 super chat. Let's get this going. Cheers, man. Thank you so much. Would have loved to have you on that pick. That would have been a blast, man. But I understand what you were going through with what you were going through. So glad that that's all working out. Hopefully it's all working out. But yeah, man, thank you for the $10 super chat. Much appreciated. You are in it to win it. Again, guys, not a lot of people in it. So 2 samples again of the porcelain Austin on me. 4 to 5 samples of the Old Taylor. We'll split the bottle with you guys, and then we'll do 2 samples of the Old Granddad that I cracked at the Sagamore meetup. So, all right, guys, on to the next one. I could probably chauffeur you guys around Nashville. No big whoop. I know some cool spots. That's awesome, Adam. Yeah, you're right. You're right there. How far away are you from NBC? This has a very interesting nose. It's almost a mixture of this one and this one together. Joe Graves says, yes, sir. 19 entries so far. Odds are great to win a prize. Absolutely. Yeah. 42 minutes from your driveway. Oh, my God. That's awesome. So I guess do you do pickup, or do they not offer pickup? There's more rye spice on the nose on this one than either of these two. But it's very sweet, sugary, a little bit of like maple in there. Yeah, it's got a good nose on it. Cheers, guys. That's a little spicy. Nothing in there tastes that spicy. Wow. I had a big old burst of spice on it. But then it's like spice up front, sweet in the back. Caramel, vanilla, more traditional kind of like bourbon note sweetness. Not as much rye on the palate besides that little burst of rye spice there. I feel like that one has a little bit of like maybe youth to it too. Maybe it comes off a little young. Not as oily or viscous on the palate. Top Dog with the $5 super chat. Thank you, John. Much appreciated, buddy. Good night, all. I know a place in Nashville to stay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys are all right. You guys are all right around that area. Top Dog is more local than I am. Well, that sounds like it could be a pick slash meetup then, guys. Maybe we can do something like that. We'll get it planned out. I'll talk with the guys and see what we can do. All right. Next sample. Here we go. 27 still in the chat, guys. Cheers. Again, thank you guys all for staying here tonight and hanging out. I know it's been a while since I've done this this blind challenge, but the last one was a lot of fun. So I figured I'd just go ahead and get this thing done and out of the way. And then next year we'll do another one, different bottles or whatever gets randomized, whatever. All right. This one's got a little more ethanol on the nose, a little more of that alcohol note coming out. Viking Bourbon in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Cheers and howdy, folks. Richie Z, Viking Bourbon. That top. Oh yeah. I mean, that's right around the corner. Oh my God. That's like the drive. Yeah, that's probably the drive for me from here to Sagamore. Almost like same distance, really. Yeah, a little more ethanol on the nose on this one, but this has more again like bourbon characteristics on the nose on this one. A little bit of like a black tea note there further into the glass. Ooh, that's good. That's very sweet. Very sweet on the palate. Almost like it's got that candied sweetness, but there's also like this. There's a lot of baking spices on the palate as well, so it's got that sweetness, but there's also some of that spice, some allspice, some nutmeg. Definitely that rye spice that picks up there on like the mid to back of the palate. But there's still some sweetness there on the front too. That one's pretty good. And it's crazy. I can't really pick out what any of these are. I've been sitting here trying to think about like what any of these could be, and I can't figure out what any of them are. All right, last sample here. Let's get into the last one. Then we'll run through again really quick and then narrow down. Eric Gunderson's in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you, buddy. Prescription bourbon. How many flights from your bracket did you do before this one tonight? This is the first one. So this is the first one. Prescription bourbon. I drank a little bit of Todd and Andy's 21090 pick. I had 3 glasses of that before I got into this. But this is round 1 of the blind barrel proof challenge for the rye whiskeys. Next live, I'll go and hop. Instead of going down the bracket, I'm actually going to hop across and then go back and then back and forth. So this is round 1. This is the very first round, first bracket only. And then the next one, like I said, we'll hop across the pond and then do that bracket on the other side and then come back. So instead, last time I think I went straight down and then went down the other side of the bracket. But we'll hop back and forth this next time. So, but yeah, this is round 1. Round 2, like I said, I'll go through and look, and I'll mention that tonight before we get into the next live. So, Hard Truth is in the first glass. Darrell is calling Hard Truth in the first glass. You know, it did have some of that chocolate kind of caramel note to it, man. So, I mean, it could be. It could be. I want to go back through and taste this way and see if I can maybe pick out something that's in here. I really like the nose on this one. Glass, what? E, A, B, C, D, E, technically. E. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. This one's got kind of like a rich kind of very sweet nose on this one. Very, very sweet. It almost reminds me of what's that candy? There's like some it's a bit spicy on the nose, ethanol wise, but then there's a lot of sweetness, and it reminds me of what is that? What is that candy? It's what is that called? It reminds me of like a Werther's a little bit. Very, very sweet. Not a ton of spice. Again, I mean, you get like a little bit of that ethanol, but not like a ton of not a ton of baking spice. A little bit. Oh, BT's in the house. Cheers, man. Good to see you. Roger Randall, I saw you in the chat earlier. Didn't get to say hi to you. Cheers, man. Your notes, I think I know what A and C are. Okay. Yeah, I think Darrell said he knows what A is as well. I want to go back through and taste. Now that I know the nose, I want to go back through and taste and see if I can pick anything out. C is very sweet. Super, super sweet. BT, it was really good to see you at the meetup. Great to see you, and I look forward to getting together with you and Todd and Andy for some drinks here locally. So great to see you, man. Glad you're doing well. Can't wait to meet up with you. So, gotta tell me how that Fish concert was. Yeah, she's very sweet. Let's get into the pal, guys. Cheers, everyone. Much appreciated for you being here. Again, there's a lot of whiskey up for grabs tonight, guys. So, 2 samples of the Pour Some Austin on Me from 21090. 4 to 5 samples of the Old Taylor from the 60s, 6-year, fresh crack, and then 2 samples of the Old Granddad from, I think it was 1962, if I'm not mistaken. So, cheers, everyone. Wow. I don't know what that is, but that's pretty good. That is like That's got a little more rye, like rye flavor-ish spice to it, but it's still very sweet. That's like it's like toffee, kind of butterscotch-y sweetness, brown sugar. Not a lot of your typical like rye notes. Like I was getting on a couple of these here. That's really good. It's sweet and it's got some spices to it. Maybe one of the higher proof ones in the batch. It feels like on the palate, but so what's going on NBC? I'm catching up 20 miles from NBC. Eric, yeah, somebody had mentioned possibly doing a barrel pick with them. So it's a possibility. I have to maybe reach out to them and see if that's something that I could do. That I could get set up and see, how many people we can get together on the pick and whatnot. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Eric, you're not far from here. Let's hang more. Yeah, it's true. Eric's right around the corner. All right. Let's get into this one more time. We're going to go backwards. God damn, that is good. If I had to guess what that was, I'm either going to say it's the Rye 3, the pick from Fish Paws, or I remember getting a lot of toffee and butterscotch on this Found North one. That would be my guess for this glass. 5 or E, however you want to look at it. Although the letters are all mixed up, but I'm just saying in order. That would be my guess on that one. And I can't really figure out because they're like I'm getting brown sugars on here, which kind of leans me towards like that rum finish, but then I'm also getting like butterscotchy Werthers on on the nose and palate too, which I kind of remember getting on that. So we'll see. That Found North was a butterscotch bomb. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it could be, but I don't remember getting a lot of brown sugars on that one, and that's kind of I got a little bit of that too. So we'll see. I gotta hydrate. My doctor says I'm not drinking enough water. There's water in these, right? All right, going back to this one. See, that got a little more earthy on the nose on this one. It's sweet, but it's earthy, like tea, like black tea, a little bit of oak, a little bit of mint / pine that starts to appear there on the nose. It has it's very inviting on the nose, but let me see what it tastes like on the palate here. See, that's coming off of this, going this way. This is really good. Going this way, I don't remember it being as good going this way, but this is really good. BT always down to have a pour. That Found North. Yeah. I mean, I haven't got that note on any of the rest of these, so it's only been on this one so far. So, all right. I don't really have any guesses for that one. Let's see what this one tastes like. This might actually be that might be the Bone Sapper, maybe. See, this one is very like bourbon kind of forward. It doesn't have a lot of rye influence on the nose now, like going back this way. It does offer us like some of the more of that like that earthy kind of herbal little bit of floral nose. Still a little sweet too. Interesting. That's so it's a little young. It feels like it's a little young on the palate. It's good. It's got a nice finish to it. I just feel like it's a little bit young. Roger Randall with a $10 super chat says that is a tough group. Hard to kick any out of bed. Cheers, and yeah, I mean this is a pretty cool round one though. I mean, but yeah, I mean only two can advance. So, and Brian, you should be pretty happy, man. For some reason, the randomizer picked a lot of Sagamore. So, I got Sagamore 112. There's a cast strength in another one. There's my pick. There's Jason's pick. There's the port finish, the cognac finish. A lot of them that wound up finishing in there. So yeah, this one it comes off a little young, and I thought maybe this was the bone sapper, but now I'm starting to think that this is the bone sapper. See, this also has a little bit of that like brown sugar kind of note to it too. So that could be that rye 3. A little bit of ethanol. I don't know. That's so hard to pick. Is the randomizer I gave you to use? No, I just went to random.org and just typed in. I think it was random.org. Just typed in every barrel proof rye whiskey I had. It was 63, I think it was total, if I'm not mistaken. So I entered 30. I just randomized a couple times, gave me the list, and I entered it into the bracket just like that. And then I had, it was like 33 bottles left over that didn't enter into the bracket. So, but a lot of Sagamore made it. I have a lot of Sagamore, so that a lot of that made it in. So, including my pick. So, I mean, my pick, it could get eliminated from something. We'll see. You never know. You never know how it blinds. These could be all mixed up in a completely different bracket and have a completely different outcome. So. Really just depends on what you pair things with, I think. What you're in the mood for that night. A lot of variables, so. See, that's really sweet on the nose. This doesn't even really remind me of a rye. A little bit further in, you get some of that spiciness, that rye spice, some nutmeg, a little bit of clove, very little bit of clove. I didn't get that on the nose on a lot of these. Oh, excuse me. Cool to meet you. Briefly, sorry we kicked everybody out of the bottle share room. Oh boy, here comes the hiccups. Oh shit. Wow, that got really fruity on the palate. What the hell? Oh man, I'm so confused right now. I don't even know what that would be. That's fruity like that. Wow. I don't know. That was a very fruit forward sip on that last sip. Not sure what the hell that is, but all right, let's get into the last one here. Then I'll start eliminating some whiskey. So, oh, this is probably the best nose out of all of them here. Whatever this first glass is. Although it smells like it might be a little young, the flavors, like the aromas, is like a caramel kind of like a chocolate malt that you would get from like Dairy Queen. But I feel like you get a little bit of the grain on the nose, but not a ton. Like this has probably the most grain forward nose, but there's not a ton of grain on it. It's a lot of that caramel, that chocolate, like a chocolate malt. It's exactly what it smells like. So that's really good. That has it. Just the flavor profile on that is very different from everything else that I have here. It's still like what I got on the nose is what I'm getting on the palate. It's like that, like chocolate malt on the front. Middle of the palate is like caramel, like I get a little bit of darkness to it too. It's like a little bit of like a light kind of pipe tobacco there on the mid to back palate. Some vanilla kind of mixed in there. A little bit of rye like that starts to appear there on the back of the palate into the finish. Smoking Firewater, cheers. Good to see you. Fifth quarter tailgate, cheers, man. Good to see you, buddy. Smoking Firewater, hey, Richie. All right, so for now, I think I'm going to move this one forward. I enjoyed that going this way, and I enjoyed it going that way. So this is going to move forward, whatever that is. That's a glass I'm gonna keep. Let me see here. God dang, that's good, man. See, that's going back this way. That's really good. Shit. David Bass, Scott Prime time next week. Cheers, Smoking Firewater. Man, that might be a runner-up. I finished it. Man, these noses just keep changing. Everything keeps changing on these. Like this is like got barbecue-y, kind of smoky a little bit. It's weird. Yeah, I mean I think on this one before I got a little bit of like earthiness, a little bit of herbal notes, a little bit of like floral. I think that's what I was getting on this one. That's kind of what I'm getting now, so. I feel like this one's changed a little bit though. Huh. That one on the palate didn't do much for me on the palate on this one. Coming off of this guy. Let me try this one really quick. See, that one got a little herbal, a little spicy too on the back, but I like that better than I liked this one. Yeah, I'm going to eliminate this guy. I'm torn between this one and this guy here. Let's get into this last one here real quick. 22 entries so far. Get your entries in. $5 per entry. Bourbon Bill, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bud. Again, guys, for tonight's giveaway, for those who did not see, I'm going to give away 2 samples of Still Austin's. This is their single barrel. Pour Some Austin on Me. This is sold out on Shared Pour. You cannot get any more. So I'm going to give away 2 samples of that tonight. Also, 2 samples of Old Grandad from the early 60s that we cracked at the Master Journey meetup. And then I recently got an Old Taylor. It was a pint. We're going to go ahead and split that, give away 4 to 5 samples of that tonight as well. That is from the 60s as well, 6 years old. So we're going to give some samples away of that tonight, guys. So any super chat gets you entered to win. Right now, your odds are very high. I can tell you that in winning a sample. So maybe we'll put some of these samples together as a pack and send them out. Whatever works for you guys. So. Yeah, see, this one's remained very sweet on the nose. So my guess again for this one would either be the rye, like the rye 3, or the Found North. Because I remember both of them being very sweet on the nose. I remember one having that butterscotch toffee note, but then I remember the other one having more of the brown sugar, being a rum finish. So nose is really nice on this one, though. Man, that is good. That's really good. It's so a lot of what like the aromas that I got on the nose is what's like the reflection on the palate. It's very sweet, sugary sweet. Like Werther's little bit of spiciness there on the middle of the palate. It has a weird kind of oak note there on the back of the palate that I like. It's not that it's weird, but I didn't get that on anything else. Man, that's good though. I do like this one too, but I think I like this one more than both of these. All right, so this is going to be my last place. This is going to be my second to last. Yeah, that's my second to last. And I'm gonna choose this one and this one, guys, to move on. I'm gonna eliminate this guy here. So these two, glass 1 or glass 5, A, E, whatever. Again, they're all mixed up. We'll figure out what's what here, but it's gonna go last place, second to last, third to last, and then these two guys. So these two are the winners for tonight's Rye Blind Barrel Proof Showdown Round 1. Eric Gunderson with a $15 super chat says 2 entries, 1 for Richie Z. Much appreciated. Dusty Bunch, tip it back. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, Eric. Much appreciated. And hopefully, again, maybe we'll get to meet up soon, man. I hope so. That'd be a lot of fun. I will reach out to someone who has some Nashville Barrel Company connections and see if that's something that can actually get done. So I am looking to do my next pick. I want to schedule it out to try to get it in the books, because I know it takes a while to get some people, rallied up and plane tickets and hotel stays or whatever. So we'll see. That could be the next pick. We'll see. That'd be a lot of fun though. Need some more space for bourbon. Need more space. Eric Demaris, I'm still sporting a knee bruise from my scooter and then carrying all these bottles back to the hotel. My wife was getting me a third shelving unit. Get a whole room for bourbon with bigger garage cars. Dave. All right, BT with the $10 super chat. Much appreciated, man. Thank you. Says O's beat the A's, or you buy drinks at Barflies. I'm down for that, man. We can meet up at Barflies, have a drink, couple drinks with the fellas from 21090 and whoever else is local at the time. I'm down for that, man. I'm good for that. So I'll take you up on that offer. You're fine if you didn't purchase it, Richie Z. You definitely need to be there. Everyone trusts the results. All right, guys. So here we go. Moment of truth. We're going to see what moves on and what doesn't. I feel like this was a very close third, this glass here. I could have picked this or this it could have swapped either way. I was feeling this a little more than this one right here, but this was really good. So whatever my third place was really good. Could have been swapped out with this easily. So, and then this one I feel was the best out of all of them. So that was the caramel kind of chocolate malt bomb. I mean, by looking at it, I would think with the maltiness, this would be that would be the hard truth, because there was a little bit of that craftiness there, maybe. This last one, I don't know. I'm torn between the Rye 3 and the Found North on this one here. I'm not sure. I mean, it could be either or. I got both notes on the palate, brown sugars and like Werther's, so could be either. Or I could be wrong completely. We'll find out. Let's see. All right. Here is the key. I'll show you guys here so you can see. Hard truth was A. Sagamore 112. Proof was B. Found North. Stuff and Whiskey pick was C. The Bone Snapper was D. And then the Rye 3 rum finish was letter E. Let's see what was eliminated first. So letter D eliminated first. That was the Bone Snapper Rye. Bone Snapper Rye eliminated first. That's the 4-year MGP whiskey. Bone Snapper Rye eliminated first. Okay. Well, I don't know if I guessed that or not, but I don't think I did. So next eliminated was letter E. Oh, wow. Okay. So letter E was the Rye 3. That was this guy. So this one was eliminated. That's crazy. Because I don't remember getting any like rum kind of finish at all on that glass. I had to go back and see what I was tasting after this live, but yeah, all right. I thought this may have made it, but it did not. All right, so I'm scared to look at this glass. So the next eliminated is the Sagamore 112 proof was eliminated. This is their older proof point. They've put out a 123 proof now, which is in this whole tournament. So, but the Sagamore goes down. This is the one I was saying that could have easily been swapped with this one here, depending on the day. I was kind of torn between the two. So, wow. So that means that letter C, Found North, the Stuff and Whiskey Found North pick. And this is the Hard Truth. That's insane. The Hard Truth, letter A, was my favorite pour tonight. That was the chocolate caramel bomb. Wow. Chocolate malt caramel, that's crazy. That's insane. I don't know. I was really hoping the Sagamore would have made it because I really like that 112 proof, obviously. But that came in. I mean, that could have been easy second place, but it came in third tonight. That's crazy. That's crazy, guys. Bone Snapper got broke. Yes, it did. Have you tried the 13 calendar cast strength rye picks yet? I got 149 proof, 13-year coming in this week. I need to get you a sample. That's insane. I did try one that Adam Shelton brought. I don't think it was that high a proof, but I know it was up in that hazmat range, maybe the 143 proof range that he had. Stuff is fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Bourbon Bill says, I like the 112 better than 123 for Sagamore. Sorry, BT. Yeah, I mean, so for me, it's opposite. So I like the 123 a little bit more than the 112. I thought I think it brings a little bit more of that. I feel like there's more rye characteristics in the 112, I guess, being a higher proof. Or I'm sorry, in the 123 than the 112. But both of them are freaking good. Like, I could have swapped out either one of these tonight on a different night and been fine with the 112. Again, I obviously love the 112 proof. It's freaking fantastic. It just, again, I think maybe where it was placed within the blind, maybe that had something to do with it. But I mean, that's going to happen, right? So, you could put this blind up in a different, completely different randomizer and have a completely different result. I could do this thing, another one next month, just like this, and have a completely different winner. So it's a hit or miss some nights, right? So either way, Sagamore coming in third place behind a Stuff and Whiskey Found North pick that who knows how old this stuff is, but and then behind a Hard Truth too. So, but again, fantastic stuff either way, guys. So the Hard Truth Caramel Malt moves forward into the next round with the Found North Stuff and Whiskey pick. I think Darrell called that, actually. He called that those two were going to win. So Jay Sells Boston with a $5 super chat says he is in. You're in it to win it, my friend. Got a lot of giveaways tonight. So again, some Still Austin, some Old Granddad, and then some Old Taylor. That's going to be a fresh crack too. So fresh dusty crack. Mark Ebenecker, regular Hard Truth, or the malted one. So this is the Sweet Mash Rye, the caramel malt. It's this one here. Sweet Mash Rye, caramel malt. This is batch 1. 8 barrels was the batch size. Cheers, Mark. And Mark, don't forget, buddy, I got a sample coming to you from the last giveaway. It's the Old Crow Chessman. You won the Old Crow Chessman, so I'll be sending that out to you this week. So didn't forget. Bourbon Bill says Seal Box had 13th Colony Ride, 138 proof, 11 year. I think that's what was at the Summer Jam. BT says all good, Bourbon Bill. I love honestly, and at least we're in it. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Brian. Christ, there's 6 bottles of Sagamore in this blind total. So again, there's the 123. The Dusty Debut, the Sagamigos, the Cognac finish, and the Port finish all landed in this blind in different categories. So, but I also have a lot of Sagamore cast strength. So, it was bound to happen to be into these entries. So, Christ, I still have the other Cognac finish. What else is up there? The Port, the Sherry finish didn't make it. The VDN we just picked, that didn't make it. There's like 2 or 3 more I have at the house too that didn't make it. One of the barley finishes that didn't make it. So I have a lot of Sagamore that still didn't even make the list, but there are a good bit of them in there. Darrell, yes, you did call it. You called it, man. It was the Hard Truth and the Stuff and Whiskey Found North pick that made it, again, a close third with the Sagamore 112 proof. Could have swapped, number 2 and number 3 on any given day. They were both absolutely fantastic, but you did call it. So then how about a 13th Colony pick? I don't know if I could. I'd have to see if I could do that. I'm not sure. I had that Stuff and Whiskey Found North pick. Really enjoying it, says Eric. Yeah, it's very, very sweet. BT really close though between the two. Tried them back to back at the Outside Bar Sagamore about a month ago. The caramel malt is the one I never found. Cheers, David Bass. Hope all is well. Same here for you. Bourbon Bill, let me know next time you're in town. $10 from Mark Emenecker says, we'll try for another so you can combine shipping. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. So you're in it to win it. Again, guys, we got a 2 pours of Still Austin. The very first Still Austin barrel pick from 21090, which they sold out of very quickly, guys. They sold 200 and some odd bottles that fast. So big congrats to those guys. Love Todd and Andy. They do an amazing job, amazing channel, and very happy that they sold through. And then we got 4 to 5 samples we'll do of the Old Taylor, which is a fresh crack from the 60s, a 6-year. And then we got 2 samples of the Old Granddad that we're going to give away as well, which is from 1962. So Sagamore Dusty pick is in my glass right now, says JG. Man, that I love that pick. And you know what? It makes me really nervous to know that that pick is actually in this blind challenge. So there's something that is, unless my palate is absolutely on fire and I prefer that over all the rest of these rye whiskeys, there's a chance that's going to get eliminated, So we'll see. We'll see what happens. The Sagamigos that I did with the Mash and Journeys in it as well. But yeah, there's a lot of Sagamore in there. So to say that I like Sagamore is an understatement. So there's a lot that entered in there. So you also called the Whiskey Saint Wenzel pick during Jeff's Louis. Just compared it. It was close, but I like yours better. John Cloud, both are good at the finish. Yeah. I mean, it was Darrell. Yeah, I mean, you called it, man. Just based off of my tasting notes, you called it. You said it was gonna be stuffing whiskey in the hard truth. So you were right. Prescription Bourbon with a $5 super chat. My friend, you are in it to win it. Again, it was great to meet you in Kentucky, Indiana / says stay dusty. Appreciate that, man. Much appreciated. I got Sagamore rye than any other brand of rye. I agree. Yeah, I mean, I have more Sagamore than I have anything else. So I think I maybe have like 14 different bottles of Sagamore combined, like total. I got some here and I have some at the other place. But yeah, I mean, I got the 112, the 123, the VDN finish we just did. Got the 8-year-old. This is the Wood Stove Imperial Stout cask age finish. And then there's the Sagamore Cognac finish rye, the 5-year anniversary, the rum finish, the port finish, cognac cask finish. I don't know what the hell that one is. The sherry finish, the 5-year bottle and bond. I got the 4-year bottle and bond at home. I don't know. There's a couple more at home too. I can't remember, but yeah, I'm with you, Bill. I got more Sagamore than I have anything else by far. So PT says I got a good amount of Sagamore as well. I bet you do, sir. I bet you do. Brian, I meant to ask you about. I didn't want to ask you, but I wanted to ask you about Larry's whiskey. Do you still have Larry's whiskey, or did you drink it all? I'm curious. Don't forget about the much sought after Dusty Dan Sagamore. Yeah, the Dusty Dan Sagamore pick, the Sagamigos pick I have. Yeah, I easily have at least 13 different bottles of Sagamore here. So, but yeah, guys, tonight again. The Found North and the Hard Truth made their way into the winner's circle, so they will both move on into the next round. So we're gonna hop across the pond and go to the next bracket instead of going down the list. We're gonna go across. So next week we have this is gonna be the Sazerac bracket. We're gonna have the Boone County Single Barrel Rye. We're going to have the Fibonacci Stellum rye whiskey, the Sagamore Cask Strength 123 proof is in the next blind, as well as the Driftless Blood Orange, and then the Bootjack Rye. So the Bootjack Rye is another Maryland rye whiskey from, I think, McClintock, if I'm not mistaken, is where that rye whiskey's from. So that got picked. So McClintock, Bootjack Rye, Driftless Blood Orange, the Sagamore Cask Strength 123 proof, the Fibonacci rye whiskey from Stellum, which I really enjoyed, and then the Boone County single barrel rye, which was a more recent pickup. So that's going to be the next. That's going to be the next blind. So another Sagamore in the next bracket, just so happens. And then the following week, there's 2 Sagamores that are going to go head to head. And that's going to be the Sagamore Cognac finish and then the Sagamore Port finish. We're actually going to go head to head with the Stellum Black Label, the Belle of Bedford Toasted Rye, and then the Four Gate Ruby Rye Springs. The following week, there's another Sagamore. That's the Sagamigos that's in there. You know what? Is there a Sagamore in each? So the only bracket that there's no Sagamore is the very last bracket. Because then the Dusty Debut ends up in the 5th bracket. As well as the Sagamore 8-year from 2022. So there's another back-to-back Sagamore head-to-head in week 5. So that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's just, again, I randomized it, and then however it laid out is how I entered it into the bracket. So the randomizer picked it. I entered it, and that's that. So, yeah, a lot of Sagamore that entered into these brackets. So the chances of winning are very high. All right, Driftless and Sagamore for the win next week. Calling that 2. So he says the Driftless Blood Orange, and then the Sagamore 123. Darrell Stewart is calling right now to win in the blind. Darrell, if that's true, if I picked that, I got to send you something. I had to send you something. You picked my winners tonight. You picked it. They were shuffled, all blind. You picked it. You got it. The boys, the pick from SLB is amazing. Driftless and Sagamore for the win next week. Only Sagamore I have is SLB during 7-year ride pick. Not sure what you're even talking about. No comment. Just finished the honeydew list from my folks for being a week away. What did I miss? Not much, bourbon. Poured the hard truth tonight. I think I have 8 Sagamore bottles now and 2 double oak backups. You know, surprisingly, that's one of the only Sagamores that like a standard release that I don't have anymore of. I finished it. So BT, looking forward to the SLB drinks Old Forester single barrel strength coming up. Nice. I second that. Yeah. So again, guys, a lot of Sagamore to be to be in this into this blind challenge. So again, it is a there are bottles that I have more of than anything else. Sagamore's, it's one of my favorite things, man. Not just because it's local, because it's fantastic whiskey. So all right, guys, so let's go ahead and get into this giveaway tonight. Actually, we'll do 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, guys. If you want to enter in, we're going to do 2 samples of the Still Austin. Pour Some Austin on Me, which is a sold out Still Austin pick, and then we're also going to give away 4 to 5 samples of the Old Taylor Fresh Crack from the 60s. It's a 6-year, so it was distilled late 50s. National Distillers distilled. And then 2 samples of the Old Granddad from 1962, which again was distilled in the mid to late 50s for that one. That was cracked at the Sagamore meetup. So I'm going to share this link. If anybody wants to hop on and just shoot the shit just for a little bit longer, you are more than welcome to. Let me go ahead and share this link with you guys really quick. If anybody wants to hop on, you are more than welcome. Guests, copy. Whoops, copy. Let's see here. And we'll wait 5 more minutes if anybody wants to super chat any more for any more of these entries for the giveaways. It's worth a taste. Had that delicious pick at the Sagamore meetup. Absolutely. All right, so let's get this in here. Chat, paste, go. All right, guys, the link is in here. I'm going to pin it. All right, guys. Like Richie said, 5 more minutes, $5 per entry for a good giveaway. So I pinned the link to this here. If anybody wants to hop on and just kind of shoot the shit for a little bit, you're more than welcome. We'll do 5 more minutes. We'll call it at 10:35. 10:35. We will go ahead and do the giveaway for all of this, all the whiskeys here. So the Still Austin, Old Taylor, and the Old Granddad. So, Ben with a $5 super chat says, "Here's a Chris $5 loser. Hey, got any honey or maple barrels or maple finish?" So when we were at Starlight, Ben was able to try. I guess he pulled Andrew's arm enough to try one of the maple finished. I don't know if it was a bourbon or rye. I don't know, Ben. You may be able to speak to that. But he was able to try it. They said it was for somebody else. He must have pulled Andrew's arm enough to been able to try a sample of it. But he said it was fantastic. It was unique, and that was one of the things that we were looking for with this Starlight pick, was something that was a little different, a little unique. But again, had to go in with the mindset and understanding that we weren't going to have access to those big kind of unique barrels, right? We were kind of given, some more like the more standard kind of stuff. We did get to try a lot of unique barrels, like the Tokai finish that just dropped and the apricot brandy. So we were able to try a decent amount of stuff. But again, the groups that were able to pick, before and after us had already done multiple Starlight picks. So at that point, they're given more access to some of that unique stuff to pick from. So next Starlight pick will probably be a little different. Access to more unique barrels, maybe some of those double finishings. But again, I think I think that Armagnac barrel that we picked was really good. It's very rich. It's very dense. Not very dessert style, like you would like an Aberana or anything like that. But I think it would pair very well with the cigar. Had a great mouthfeel to it. A nice proof point. I think it came in at 116, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's see, Mark. It's a Mashing Journey pick. I can't remember the proof though. It was a bourbon. Okay, so yeah, so he was able to try some of the maple bourbon that they had set to the side for somebody. So he must have held a gun to Andrew or something like that, and stuck him up for some samples. But yeah, I mean, I think with what we tried and had access to, I think we were able to pick what the best option was out of everything. So, what's up, bud?
Hey, you losers are talking about maple syrup. How about a little Sagamore maple syrup?
There we go. Some Sagamore maple syrup rye whiskey. That's it, man. Hold on. Let me zoom in on that real quick. I don't think a lot of people have seen that bottle.
Well, they won't either. There's like 2 barrels total.
Yep. Maple syrup, cask strength rye whiskey.
It is a 5 to 6 year old rye whiskey, 2-year finish in maple syrup barrels.
That's awesome.
107.2 proof.
107 proof. Yeah, I don't have a bottle of the maple finish either. So, but what's so cool about Sagamore too is just like how many things that they actually have out there, right? They got the Manhattan finish, which a lot of people I know that's one of Brian's favorites was the Manhattan finish. They actually had it for sale at a liquor store that was maybe 10 minutes away from me, if that. But yeah, it's, the Manhattan finish, and I mean, they've really, as far as finishings, I'd say they're right up there with Starlight with the amount of finishes and stuff they have. So,
it's way longer finishes too. Right?
Exactly.
Starlight's like a month, and they pull it out of there.
Shred was in the house, man. Cheers, Shred. Good to see you, bud. Bonnie wants multiple bottles of the Armagnac finish rye alone. By the way, these dusty picks are also Bonnie's first picks. That's cool. Whiskey Uncensored, are you home or are you still on the road? Bourbon School. Cheers, Bourbon School. Good to see you, man. Cheers, Dan, and everyone in the chat. Good to see you. Where did he get that from? Joe wants to know where he got that from, Bill.
Oh, dude, someone sent this to me from Massachusetts. So I did a review on it. It came from, well, I pronounce it Julio's Liquors, but apparently it's Julio's Liquors. Which is like, who pronounces it? I don't know who does that. But,
it's up the road for me.
It's only Massachusetts, so it's only Julio's Liquors in Massachusetts, and the other store I think is Benny's in Chicago. So you can either dodge bullets in Chicago or drive to Massachusetts.
Darrell, what's up, bud?
Not much, buddy.
How are you, man? Doing okay?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Good, man. Good. I know we were talking earlier, man. We might have to get together for a pick.
Yeah, man. Let's make it happen.
I definitely think we should make that happen. There's we can figure something out. So trying to get together with a handful of people and travel and do a pick would be fun. So
let's do it up.
Buffalo Distilling has a maple cask finish bourbon dropping on Sunday. Interesting.
Never even heard of them.
What company was that?
Actually, Buffalo Distilling.
Buffalo Distilling. Yeah, I'm not.
You mean Buffalo Trace? No.
Whiskey Uncensored BT sort of home. Got in last night. Headed back home now from doing chores for the folks. Dan, I should be able to send your Manhattan finish this week. I forgot it. Oh no worries, man. No worries at all. Yes, Ben actually picked up a Manhattan finish. I told him I'd grab it from him. So from my understanding, Sagamore's supposed to come out with another Manhattan finish. I think a second round of it at some point. I don't know when. But yeah. So the first Manhattan finish was really good. I think Joe Graves grabbed a bottle of that Manhattan finish, if I'm not mistaken. So
I think they said in a couple of months, didn't they, Dan?
I know it should be right around the corner, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Yeah, I'm more pumped for that 9-year they're putting out next year.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that, dude. Oh, that's gonna be amazing.
Dude, the 8-year was killer. I can't.
The 8-year was definitely killer. Even from 2022 was killer, and then this year's was great. So, all right. So BT says spring 2024 is the last I hear. It's been bumped. Okay. All right. So it's still kind of right around the corner.
I'm growing old. I'm getting gray.
Yeah. So Joe Graves did grab the Manhattan finish. I think it was right around the corner. A liquor store right around the corner from me. So, Darrell, what are you drinking tonight, man?
It's a blend I did 2 years ago. No, nothing crazy. It's the ECB Toasted Barrel with ECPP 920 at 50/50.
Ooh.
And I did this March 5th, 2021. I remember it being decent then, but it's been in this sample bottle for 2 years, and it changed considerably, I'm guessing, because it's like half the amount. But it's so much better than what it was when I first had it.
Roger, what's going on, man?
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
How are you, bud?
Good, bud.
Good to see you.
Were you trying to make ECTB palatable?
The toasted, I found it lacking, right? It just didn't have too much. It wasn't complex enough, and just that proof point was too low. If they made it barrel proof, then it'll probably be killer.
Oh yeah, but I like 1910 better. Mine went right down the drain. I wasn't drinking that.
The toasted?
Yeah, the toasted. Yeah, I like 1910 better.
So yeah, BT said it'll be a vertical 8-year, 9-year, 10-year, then something big. Oh.
Well, BT, how old am I going to be? Am I going to be in my 40s by then? I mean, come on.
Dang, that's crazy, man. So it's going to be a vertical for it. 8-year, 9-year, 10-year, and something big. No shit.
I got to try that 8-year.
I can't wait for that, man. I mean, again, last year's 8-year was great. This year's, yeah.
I think batch 2 of the 8-year was better than batch 1. I had both. I thought it had a little bit extra something in that batch.
Yeah. Yep. Destiny, time on the giveaway entries unless you want to give it another few minutes. No, Richie, we can go ahead and close out the giveaway, and we can just go ahead and run it now, man. That's fine. I do need to get I'll text myself who wins.
Oh,
I
Jeff!
had a pen. I thought I had a pen somewhere, but I don't.
Look at Jeff trying to give away that Peerless Double Oak. That boy don't know how to taste anything. I'll send it to you, Jeff. Here, speaking of Peerless Double Oaks, here you go, Jeff. Here's a
single
barrel Peerless Double Oak bourbon. Probably better than most of what you're drinking there, and you're gonna give away that rye.
Bourbon Bill, send me your details, and I'll get you that Peerless Double Oaked in a blind flight. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead and get into this giveaway really quick. I am going to text myself.
Yeah, single barrels killer.
Because I can't find the.
Terrell, where was that one from? Was that from the distillery, or did you pick it up at a store?
Distillery.
So they just started doing them at stores. This is from a store in New Jersey. Got this maybe a couple months ago. This one's 112.5, and it's like got tons of cherry on it. They said it was a 6-year, so a little bit older than their normal stuff, but like tons of cherry started coming out in this bad boy.
Yeah, I really like their single barrels. When we did a tour there last year, and we got to taste a bunch of stuff, and they pulled out all their distillery releases for us to purchase. But a bunch of different bourbon, or 3 different bourbons, I think, 3 different ryes, all fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Roger, what are you drinking, man?
Hard Truth, caramel malt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Got
There you
the
go.
old,
Yeah. Is that batch 1?
Yeah, he came into St. Louis. We got he was signing bottles.
Nice.
That stuff's
That
so
was
good.
the best one of the group that I found. That just.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, Darrell, you called it tonight, man. You called my winners.
The profiles for the Canadian rye from Fountain North, I don't know where they get their damn barrels from, man, but their stuff is just really, really good. You know, a lot more sweet vibes. That caramel malt's just completely different.
Yeah.
Like when I first had them, I'm like, what the heck is this? I need more. Like,
yeah, I mean,
I can't get.
Well, I found it. I found more of the caramel and chocolate malt. This.
Oh, Roger's got it all. He's got
God, that
oh yeah.
It's too coffee for me. I don't like coffee, and that's all that is. Oh.
Well, I tell you what. This is a 50 month. It's about. It's not too bad. It's a little heavy chocolate, but this bad boy is the bomb.
What is that? Hold on, let me zoom in on that.
Another Detlin. Is it a single barrel?
Yeah, it's a single barrel cask strength, 65 month. It's from the upper levels of the warehouse. And Seth said it was the sister barrels to the ones that he sent to Europe.
Yeah.
Damn, what's the proof on that one?
56.12.
Okay.
If you like coffee, you'll probably like those.
The complexity on them is just, and you get, as I always said, as I tell a friend, remember Goo Goo clusters when you were a kid? It's a liquid Goo Goo cluster with alcohol. It's awesome.
Roger, you need to tell your wife you need more shelving if you're pulling that many bottles off the floor.
I noticed that too. I mean, that's where man. That's where all mine are too. They're all on the ground, all the way over here. They're all over the place. It's crazy.
That was the case that I got from him one of our local shops across the river actually got it in stock, and I couldn't believe it because couldn't find it forever. We spent 2 months looking around for it, and they got in 2 cases, and I picked up a case. Why not? But
that's great. Yeah.
You don't want to see the wine selection. I got 1,200 bottles of wine in the other room over there. So
what?
I got like 3.
Yeah,
Are you getting Hard Truth in Maryland? We don't get it in PA at all.
No, not at all, man. I don't know. Not a bit. So I don't. There's a lot of stuff like right around me. I don't find a lot of things. I'd have to go out to like Drug City and Allview and stuff like that. More towards the city to find anything kind of special. Other than that, it's secondary market. So Prescription Bourbon says Detling Cold Brew. That's how dark it is.
Oh,
So,
it's
Roger, are
great.
you more of a whiskey drinker or a wine drinker?
Both.
Okay.
I'm in on the wine side because of long-standing, going on 15, 20 years, on the wine side, and started in with the bourbon as an after dinner drink or later drink, and then it just kind of got a little out of hand.
A
As my
little
wife
bit.
says, I don't do anything halfway. So
I mean, 1,200 bottles of just wine is pretty impressive, man. I'll say that.
yeah, it's fun, and it's you can. I've got the program Cellar Tracker. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but Cellar Tracker, I can track all the wine and all the bourbon.
Oh my
which
God.
is kind of cool. You can
That's so. I got a question for you. Have you ever tried anything from was it Carter Cellars? Is that what it is?
yeah, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I mean, is it good?
Oh yeah, it's high end Napa Cabernet. It's about 125. It used to be 125. Now it's about $150 a bottle.
Nice.
Napa Cabernet, right in the middle of the valley.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
It's pretty cool. So I went down to Kentucky. I was there just a handful of days ago, and I met up with Sherry Carter. And I didn't know this, but they actually they took over another portion of the building right next to Justin's. And so like one portion is like her art studio, the other portion is the area where they have the lockers and stuff like that, and the room for the program. Then the very end room is their new wine. It's gonna be like their new like little winery that he's doing a lot of his stuff out of. So I don't know what to expect as far as like merchandise or anything like that, but they actually have like all their stuff set up inside that room, which I thought was really cool. So
yeah, it was a lot of those boutique labels and stuff. You're in it for the love of it. You're not in it for money. I mean, it does not turn a huge profit because you run into the years like you had with 17 and 20 with the fires out there, things like that, where you don't have a vintage. You don't have anything to sell. Not like bourbon. You get more corn, you get more wheat.
Exactly. Yep.
Wine, you get one chance. If you fuck it up, you fuck it up.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Very good point there. Yeah. Good call on that. It definitely makes you think a little bit differently about things. You know what I mean? You're right. You get one shot. If it's not right, the whole batch is done. So
yeah, and that's most of the winemakers I know. They talk about. They go, yeah, there's no pressure. We just got one chance to get everything right.
Yeah.
And if you can fix a few things, but you can't fix it all.
Yep.
And so
I agree with that.
Not like bourbon. You can just throw the
bourbon. Even a lot of the distillers and stuff like that, they talk about batches. Seth Edling will tell you. He had a couple of interviews where he talked about he dumped the barrels. He didn't like the stuff when it was first. When he first did it. It was like kind of experiment with it, things like that, because down in Alabama, totally different weather than what you get in Kentucky, what you get in Indiana, anywhere else. And you got to play the game a little differently.
That's true. So what's one of your favorite? I gotta ask you, what's one of your favorite, most prized possession bottles of bourbon or rye?
Probably in bourbon right now. There was a couple. It was probably a ECP, Elijah Craig pick that we picked up. That was a local store that here in town. They used the same last name. They took my name to name the store. So I was able to get a couple of the picks, and it's just killer. And the owner of the store, Todd, he's awesome guy, and fun people, and those are kind of the fun ones because I get all the picks from there. I kind of make a point to go there and get there. So I got like the Old Forester single barrel, Buffalo Trace single barrels, and any of those.
Nice.
And then wine would have to be Summit Vine Ranch. That's my favorite wine.
Okay.
Little tiny winery up on the mountain on Diamond Mountain in Calistoga that nobody knows about, nobody's heard of, and I love it.
Yeah, there you go, man. It's always those places that have the the winery that I'm sure that's like steadily available. I imagine, right? Since nobody knows about it.
Oh yeah, it's only online. It's very hard to get. 120 cases made last year. Some of the wine, so
Wow.
120 with 12 bottles in a case. You
Okay.
figure it out.
Damn.
So,
all right, guys, let's get into this. Let's get into this really quick, and
Yeah,
then we can sit here and chat. So Richie said, I think there was 32 entries, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, the 32 entries. Richie, are you still good? We can go ahead and start this giveaway. We'll start with the Still Austin. Give away 2 picks of that.
That's good stuff.
I think it's great, man. I mean, so it's very off profile for being Texas whiskey.
Doesn't taste like it. Doesn't taste like a wood cube, you know?
You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy to think that you could put their standard cast strength up against this, and like you could tell that's from Texas. This,
Nah, you couldn't tell.
no, there's no way. Same thing with the proof. There's no way I could guess that'd be 116 proof on the palate. Just it doesn't drink like it.
Todd's like, hey, you want a sample? He left me like a half a swig in the bottle. I was like, thanks, Todd.
Here you go, Bill. What'd you get?
Here, have a sniff. That's all you're getting.
Did you wind up getting a bottle or no?
No, I didn't get a chance. I got that 13th colony, and then he sent me the link. I was like, it's too late, But,
yeah. Darrell, are you going to be a judge this year? Are you going to enter in the blend again?
He already did. He has a blend right there.
Oh, that is your blend.
You're on mute.
My bad. Sorry. I said I'm gonna judge my own so I can make sure I get through this time. But no judge. That's just an old blend that I just did because I wanted to make the toasted better. I probably had it on its own, and I was like, "Yep, nope." I was like, let's throw some real ECBP in there, and it's like now it's actually really good, dude. Like this, and I don't know if it's because it sat for 2 years, like half full, if that's why it's drastically different than what it was. Because if that's the case, it sucks to tell somebody to mix it, because I remember it being good as shit. It wasn't like this, though.
Yeah.
But I got to figure out what I'm doing. This was a blend I was working on for Blend to Get In, but it's not what I want it to be. So I got to get back to mixing and matching and figuring it out.
Yeah, I mean, my historical track record with Blendageddon is not the best. So I decided I will be a judge this year instead of submitting an entry. So I may do like the Frankenblend, but I'm not going to enter into the American.
Yeah, I want to do both. Yeah. Like my first year I made the finals, then for the next year I went out in the first round. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I've been out in the first round like the last 3 years. So I was like, you know what? I think we may just switch it up a little bit. So. Seeing if Richie Z is still around so he can pull a number for me. So then we can go ahead and get started on this giveaway. Like I said, we'll start with the 2 samples of the Still Austin. We do 4 samples of the Old Taylor, and then we'll do 2 samples of the Old Granddad from the 60s. So
damn OGDs. Oh man.
Yeah, the OGD was good, man. I brought it to the Mash and Journey meetup.
I'm still disappointed I didn't make that damn thing.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Ready and everything.
You messed up on him by not coming. The bottle share was through the roof.
The bottle share was nuts.
It was. I mean, like the first room I walked into, they had 13th Colony Double Oak just chilling there like it was a bottle of rare breed. I was like, oh, all right, we'll try that out.
Was that? Did you go to? Was that was a room with me, right?
Yeah.
I brought. That's what I brought. I brought that.
Oh, you brought the 13th.
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay. Well, yeah, I tried the dusty one you brought. The Old Granddad. Yeah, that. Yeah. I didn't know you brought the 13th. I was like, well, this is a great bottle share. Look at this.
Yeah. I brought that. I brought the what the hell else did I bring? Shit, I can't even remember what the hell I brought. But yeah, I definitely brought the 13th Colony. I brought that Willet blend, the rye and bourbon blend.
I didn't have that. You had like an old turkey, didn't you?
No, that was
Jason. Was that Jason?
Yeah, that was Jason that had the tradition. Yeah, he had the turkey.
Heard that was killer.
Yeah, yep. I think it was a Japanese export too. So, all right. So, all right, guys. So we're ready to pick number 1 through 32. Darrell, you want to pick a number 1 through 32? It's gonna be for a sample of the Still Austin. Pour some Austin on me.
We'll do number 1. It's my son's football jersey.
Number 1, guys. Number 1. This is going to go for a Still Austin sample of the Pour Some Austin on Me from 21090.
Yeah, I was drinking the Nancy one when you guys were talking about it because I don't have Todd's, but that Nancy pick for June or July, whatever the more recent one is, I think that may be the one you have too.
Yes.
That thing is so freaking good. Mine's even lower than that, and I got it less than a month ago from the Turks.
Yeah. This thing is crazy, man.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's the same one. I'm pretty sure it is. Actually, no, this might be. So this is from February.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's different then. Mine on the front, like it says, barrel dumped on April 28th.
Okay. Good. So Joe Graves wins a sample of the 21090. He may give that to somebody else because I know he has some. So let's go ahead and run that. Run another number, Darrell. Regardless, I'm about to meet Joe on the 15th or 19th, one of those days. We can run another number for somebody who may not have that.
Man,
so.
I got 2 bottles of that crap.
Yeah.
We'll do number 22.
22, guys. Number 22. That's going to be for, again, sample of the Still Austin. Need to pour myself one more drink tonight. What do I want to get? So Jack Daniels sent me this Jack Daniels tequila finish. I haven't reviewed it yet, but
dude, it's odd, isn't it?
I haven't even cracked it yet.
Oh, it's an odd.
Try it.
I had tequila, and I'm just like,
I had like a little group tasting here in Harrisburg, PA, just a bunch of buddies, and I gave that out. You know who loved it? The guy's wife who likes tequila. Everyone else is like, it wasn't bad. It doesn't taste like tequila till the end, but it's,
okay. So you get on the finish. Yeah, well, I'm interested.
It's not bad.
Richie, so 1 through 31. Darrell pick number 22.
22.
See, I don't get the on the nose either.
It doesn't smell like tequila. It's on the finish. That's it.
Mark Emmernecker.
Like he said.
Oh, Mark wins everything. I mean, like
I think you only put $5 into your savings. That's too funny.
That's funny. I got to send Mark a sample of the Old Crow Chessman too, because he won that on the other stream. So
yeah, because his comment was like, "Hey, so you can save on shipping." And he ends up.
That's true. He did say that. That's so cool. It never tastes like tequila until the end, says Thanks, I got 2 bottles of the pick. I'll take something else, please. All right, that's fine, Mark. I'll send you something else besides the 21090 pick.
Dan, did you have the toasted pecan Jack Daniels?
Which one?
Toasted pecan wood. It was like the one right before the tequila.
No, I have the maple and just the high toast.
Dude, the toasted pecan was where it was at.
Yeah, I didn't get to try that one. I saw they released that, but I didn't try it. So Mark Emmernecker is going to get a different sample. All right, that's fine, Mark. I got you. Oh, okay. All right, I can see the tequila finish now on there.
Give him some Jack Daniels tequila. That's what he deserves.
That's a little different on the back. On the front of the palate, it's fine, but as soon as it hits the back of the palate, it gets a little weird. Yeah, it's a little weird. All right, so Roger, do you want to pick a number 1 through 30? This is going to be for the next sample of the Still Austin pick.
We'll go split the middle, 16.
16. I don't get any tequila on the nose or at all. Like it does come off fruity.
Do you
it
drink?
comes off a little earthy too, a little bit, but
the other sample I had was like the second release they ever did. It was like the hickory smoked cherry wood or whatever. People were torn on that. I loved it, but people said it smelled like a barbecue brisket. So they weren't. I don't know. They weren't all.
Great.
Yeah, I was like, you don't like this. What's wrong with you? You know.
I like the front and middle of the palate on this, but the back is a little funky.
Yeah.
That's where
the back is that tequila definitely shows up on the back of the palate.
Roger, Richie said 15 or 16.
16. 1-6.
1.6, Richie.
And this is what, only 90 proof? It actually drinks a little hotter than 90 proof, I feel.
Oh, they proofed that one down, huh?
Yeah, Tennessee whiskey finished in tequila barrels, which marry the flavors of agave and oak.
Ugh.
Well, there's definitely agave on the back of the palate. I can tell you that. I don't get that much oak, but I get that tequila.
The new one they're doing is like a sherry finish or something, but they proofed it down to 90 as well. That's not accurate though.
Mm.
I mean, they've been. I really liked the sample they sent me of the Heritage.
Oh,
The
I haven't
100
tried
proof?
that yet.
It's.
The new one.
I mean, the only thing that I because I reviewed it, I just released it today. The only thing that I didn't like about it is it kind of lost a little bit of flavor, like on the back of the palate right before the finish. Other than that, it's a good damn bottle, man. I mean, for $100 or whatever, I think it retails for 80, but I'd pick it up in a heartbeat for that price.
Yeah, I'm a big JD fan. I'm looking forward to that. I haven't. I mean, PA is so behind. We haven't even gotten JD 10 or 12 yet. For God's sake, I mean,
That's crazy.
we're like Stone Age here.
That's how I feel, man. When I go into these stores around me, it's like the most basic liquor store you could ever think. It was like Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, all bottom shelf. It's like there's nothing there. Fireball. And I literally have to go and travel to these other stores like to find something. So
Everybody seems to have this bottle, Dan.
Yeah.
what did he say? He has to.
Dave won, and he has 2 bottles as well.
All right. So.
Holy moly!
All right.
No one wants that 21090 junk whiskey on the session.
Jesus. All right, I'll find somebody. Bill, connect with me on Instagram or email. Because I know you didn't try this yet, right? Besides that little sip you had.
No, I didn't. All
right. Yeah, email me at dustydansreviews@gmail.com, or you can just send me an Instagram message. I'll send you a sample of this.
I have your email. I'll send you one. Yeah, I got the last swig that Todd left in the bottle.
Everyone has. Yeah, you're right, JG. I think everyone does have the bottle at this point. So, which is fine. That's great. That's great. I mean, is there anybody out there that doesn't have it? Richie, do you have a sample of this? Do you have a bottle? Send me a sample of anything else.
Joe, you're good.
Joe, I got samples to bring you anyway, Joe. So you're fine. I'll bring you something else. But Richie, let me know. I think you commented that you were late. Ben, you don't have it either. Okay. All right, that's fine. I got you. All right.
All right, so we got a couple winners.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
okay.
He ordered a bottle, so he should be.
Okay, we can go. Gotcha. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the. Let's do the Old Granddad. We'll do 2 samples of the Old Granddad, 1 through 29.
29, I think. Yeah.
Bill, if you want to pick a number 1 through 29, this could be for a sample of the Old Granddad, distilled mid to late 50s, bottled in 62. I think it's actually
let's go right for the top. 29. Huh? Let's go right for the top. 29.
29. Here we go. Richie Z, 29.
If the winner has 2 bottles of this, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, you said it was what, 62, Dan?
Yeah, it was bottled in 62, so it was distilled mid to late 60s. I'm sorry, mid to late 50s. I'm sorry.
Okay,
yeah. Still National Distillers distilled.
Jeez. What was the one we had, Dan? Was it a 60s in Kentucky?
No, it was the 60s.
Because we had 2. The big one was that older? I can't remember.
That was a little older. That was a few years older.
Okay. Meaning younger or older, sorry.
Older. It was bottled later.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Those,
so Brian Toner wins the sample.
Nice.
Brian Toner wins the first sample of the OGD.
I think that's Brian Treacy's alternate account.
Oh yeah, what's Brian? Which one is it? Is it Toner or is it
Brian Toner?
It's Toner.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, 29 Toner. Congrats, man. Very nice job. Brian Toner, you want a sample of the OGD? Brian, if you want to pick a number now, 1 through 28. 1 through 28. That's going to be for the second sample of the OGD.
Yeah, no samples are killer. I had a few, not nearly as many as you, Dan, but every single one that I've had, regardless of year, like pre-80, even the 80 stuff.
The 80 stuff's fantastic
like
too,
ridiculous.
Man. That's some of the glut era, glut era stuff. But the further you go back, again, I understand, like, a lot of those distilleries changed hands multiple times. Like, you look at, like, the JW Dan. JW Dan changed hands like 6-7 times back in the day. Right before it was Bernheim, it was I forget how to pronounce it. It starts with a G, but then after that, it went to Frankfurt, which was Ancient Age before it became Buffalo Trace, and then after that, it became something else. It's just like, JW Dan changed hands so many times, but the whiskey was so different from each one of those places. So,
yeah.
14, Richie Z. 14 was the second sample of the OGD.
Hey, Brian, you can send me that $20 Venmo later for picking your number.
Dude, when I was with Jeff, and I sent you a picture of this, Dan, I had a 1950. So it was a 50 bottled in 54 OGD, and that thing was ridiculous. Over at Revival in Covington, I think it is.
Oh, okay. You went there? Yeah, we wound up going over to Neat. A lot of good pours over at Neat.
Really? I haven't been there. Is that Kentucky? I always hear the name.
Yep.
Okay.
It's very kind of. It's not like your typical place either. It's kind of out of the way a little bit. Yeah, it sits in definitely in a different part of town, but man, they have some really nice pours for a pretty decent price. Have any of you guys tried the new Maker's Cellar Aged yet?
No, I haven't had that
yet. PA won't get that until 2026, Dan.
Oh my god, that bottle that stuff's fantastic, man.
Nice.
So tell me this. Here's my trepidation on it. Why'd you slow down the last 6 years aging? I saw Fred Minnick's little shtick on it. It's like, give me that oak. If I'm paying $150, I want some oak on this. So does it have oak to it, or
it does? It still has. You definitely taste the Maker's Mark profile on it, which I like. Right, it's not like vastly different, but you do get more of that mouthfeel. You get a little bit more of that oak, a little bit more of that spice. But then, like, the finish on that whiskey is insanely long. Like, it is like this year, I would say it probably has the longest finish out of the majority of the whiskeys that I've tried so far this year.
What's the proof on it, Dan?
115.
Under 120, I think, right?
Yeah, it's under 120.
Okay.
But Christopher David and I tried it at a place in Kentucky, and we both kind of looked at each other and like, whoa, like, this is actually good. And then we tried it at Neat. Everybody tried it at Neat. The Turks tried it, loved it. Bourbon tried it. He really liked it. Adam Shelton, he loved it. There was just, it's really good, man. It really is. I was very surprised.
Would you ask Darrell the price or the proof?
I'm sorry?
Did you ask for the
price? It looks like Prescription Bourbon was the last winner.
Nice.
He picked another number. They're already on to the next person.
Oh, shit. They're just rolling it through for you.
Yeah, Joe Graves is the next winner. So,
so what were you? So they're rolling through, but what do you? So your first one was the OGD.
Joe Graves wins a sample of the Old Taylor.
Right.
All right.
Old Taylor.
Congrats, Joe. I will bring that sample with me to your house as well.
14%.
All right. So Joe Graves wins a sample of the Old Taylor.
Did you get
I'll
DMC?
bring that with me. Yep. DMC got the last of the OGD.
Okay.
All right, Joe. If you want to pick a number 1 through 26, I don't know if Joe's still on or not.
Yeah, he is.
Hell yeah! All right, here he is. So I got to bring Joe a Found North batch 7, K Luke batch 4 or 5, maybe I think 4, and then now Old Taylor.
Batch 4 is fantastic.
Oh, dude, God, I love batch 4.
Batch
man.
6 probably in the next week.
Yeah. Somebody else posted on there that that's dropping. So
Yeah, Jonathan mentioned that. He's like, "Yep, sometime in September." We're trying to get him on a channel. Like, it's like we're just so freaking. We're literally booked out until like I think November almost. Like with everybody like coming on and just different like ideas that we have. Like it's crazy. So
love that though, man. That's awesome. That's what makes you guys different. You know what I mean? You guys have
keep it interesting, man. Keep it different. What's that?
You guys have had a ton of people on.
Oh yeah. And we haven't repeated yet. Besides Todd coming on for like the craft flight that he sent, like we haven't repeated anybody yet.
Yeah.
You know? So it just keeps it fresh and interesting. It's fun, man. Like never really thought we'd be doing like we're not there to like have crazy amounts of subscribers or whatever, but we were doing what we were doing prior, just bringing it over to the YouTube, you know?
Yeah, just incorporating the community a little bit more, man.
Yeah.
Bringing some people on.
That's good times.
All right, so Joe picks number 22 out of 26. I think we picked that number before, but we'll see.
Did DMC win again?
I don't know. I'm gonna start doing 2 shows a week. There you go, Darrell. 2 shows a week, man. That'd be wild.
Oh, John Cloud.
Bourbon Bill, what do you got going on, man, with your stuff?
Oh, not much. We're moving here shortly in another month or so. So my stuff's all like packed up. I had to go get this stuff out of boxes here today.
Are you serious? Where are you moving to?
We're gonna be in PA. We're moving to Mountain Joy, PA. Okay. Instead of we're in Harrisburg now, but we're moving to Mountain Joy.
Isn't Harrisburg near what the hell is that place called? Skirmish?
Scranton?
No, Skirmish paintball field.
Oh yeah.
In Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's not that far. Yeah, it's like 20-some minutes or so, maybe something like that.
Oh shit, you're right there. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're right there.
Roger Randall, you're a winner.
You won. Got another Taylor?
First time.
That's awesome, man. You got a sample of some old school Old Taylor coming to you, buddy.
Nice.
Don't worry.
You just got to shoot me over your address, so you can either find me on Instagram or just email me at dustydansreviews@gmail.com. Either or.
Nice. Congrats, buddy, man.
Congrats, Roger. Roger, so if you want to pick a number now, 1 through 25, this is going to be for another sample of the Old Taylor.
How about 20? We'll go with the even number.
All right, we'll go number 20. Richie Z, number 20 for the next sample of the Old Taylor. And then we'll do one more after that. I can't wait to taste that bottle, man. I haven't even cracked it yet. It's going to be a fresh crack, so I figured I'd split it with the community. This week, we're interviewing the executive director of Bourbon on the Banks Festival. Cheap plug. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Are you guys all headed down there?
Yeah, that's the intent. I know these guys for sure. I'm gonna I'll figure it out, but I should be there as
I got
well.
you. Yeah. I got you.
I'm really, really looking forward to that. Like it's
Jeffrey freaking Whack.
Did he really win?
Good Lord.
Bring it to Kentucky and share.
Jeffrey Whack. Congratulations, sir.
Oh, that's cool.
Jeffrey Whack wins a sample. He's probably not on right now.
He just messaged. He's here.
All right, is he? All right, yeah, just yeah, hopefully he's here. You can pick the last number for the sample of the Old Taylor. Will that be 1 through 19? Yeah, 1 through 19.
1 through 19, Jeff. He's like, oh snap.
Congratulations, Mr. Whack Skirmish. You're yes. So my brother hopped on here and he says Skirmish that it was supposed to be a bachelor party. So I took a shit ton of people at a bachelor party up to Skirmish. And it was it was a riot. It was so much fun, dude. I'm telling you, Skirmish is the place to go and play paintball. Like
So it was funny, Dan. We had one of my best friends. He had his bachelor party in it was New Jersey. It's shitty, whatever. We had in New Jersey, but we did paintball, and it was so much fun. I mean, that was the highlight of the week,
I mean, so Skirmish again, like they have the beginner fields, but then there's some advanced shit out there. I don't know if you guys have ever looked it up, But if you go look up Titman Castle, it's a 3-story castle that you can attack and defend during it. And it is like, it's a massive castle that you can go through. It's so awesome, man. But there's like, it's like 500 acres of different fields that you can go and do. They have like an old Western town that you can do. They have Black Hawk Down theme that you can do. And then they have something called the Invasion of Normandy. Okay.
That'd be sweet.
It's thousands of people that go and play this thing. There's like tanks that roll through. I swear to God, look it up on YouTube. Invasion of Normandy at Skirmish. I'm telling you, it's insane.
Oh, wait, I was wrong. I was thinking of a different field. I'm like an hour 50 from
Skirmish.
Yeah, there's one that's like 20 minutes from here. Harrisburg is like, I'm only like an hour and a half from Sagamore.
Okay, all right, okay, I got you. So it's a little deeper up into PA.
Yeah, that's like it's like more northeast.
Yep.
I'm like south central, you know.
All right, so we got one more. Who needs a?
So
Who picked
Jeff
the
called number 17 for Richie. Yeah.
Number 17. BT says the castle have a whiskey bar. It does not. Not that I know of, but it's my number to call. So number 17, Richie Z. This is for the last sample of the Old Taylor. Yeah, but that place is like, again, there's some very serious people that take paintball to like the next level that play these places. So tons of fields though, man. It's wild. It's such a good time. But I think it was like 12 or 14 of us that went on my bachelor party up there. So it was pretty crazy. Yeah, it was wild.
Did you run like a gauntlet at the end? We made my buddy run like through everyone, shoot out of like point blank range.
No, I didn't remember that.
The brother of the girl he married was there. He's like, "This is for my sister," you know, like point blank at him.
Top Dog wins the last sample of the Old Taylor.
There we go.
Congrats, John. Again, well deserved. Again, congrats to all the winners out there, guys. Thank you all again for the super chats. I will be getting these samples. Should be getting them out here this week to you guys. So I do have some things to send out to the winners from the other week too. So some Glen Cairns. Who has 2 thumbs and didn't win shit here? This guy. That's all right, man. You've won stuff before. It's all right.
Did you see his comment? Whiskey Uncensored comment about Harrisburg? Have me dying.
No,
I knew that's why you were laughing.
PA has the great custard ice cream. One has the worst Chinese buffet on the planet. Pretty sure I cracked the porcelain and my voice was Oh Christ, that's funny.
Hey, there's a couple of shady Chinese buffets. Yeah, I mean, we gotta be that.
That's good. I gotta highlight that comment. That's good stuff.
It just makes me picture it. I'm like, no.
Oh Christ. Oh, Benjamin.
All right, well, you know I'm leaving on a high note. We'll see you guys later.
Hey man, good to see you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, man. We should link up and if you're down for a blind live, man, I can always get you on and we can set you up with like Saucy Shane or somebody like that if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always down for that.
Awesome, buddy. I'll be in touch, man. Thanks for hopping on.
All right, see you, Dan. See you, Durham.
All right, bud.
See ya.
All right, yeah. Congrats, guys. Congrats to all the winners. Joe, cheers, everyone. Good night. Good night, buddy. Thanks for staying on, man. But yeah, congrats to all the winners, guys. Again, I will try to get these samples out to you as quickly as possible. I probably have 14 to 15 things now to send out. So, yeah, I got a K-Luke pack, Barrel Batch 35, Old Quakers to send out, Kentucky Taverns, Oak Crow Chessmen, 2 Glen Cairns, and then all these samples from tonight. So it's a lot of stuff to send out. But we'll get it out. But guys, I am going to hop off the live. Roger, Darrell, more than happy to stay on here. You don't have to leave. We're just going to go off the air. Thank you all for hanging out tonight. Next Monday, we will begin round 2 of the Blind Barrel Proof Challenge. There is another Sagamore entered into that round. the Sagamore 123 proof, which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Will it make it through? We will find out, guys. But thanks all for stopping in. Much appreciated. Who Flung Dung says cheers. He's laughing because he knows how bad that buffet is. Cheers, guys. Guys, thanks again for everything. We'll catch you guys on the next live. Cheers, everyone.